time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts. Chessable. Take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Hi there, it's me, John Chess, inventor of chess. And are you sick of sucking at chess? Well, lucky for you, I have also invented AIM Chess. Look at this chess puzzle. Did you solve it? Of course not, that's because you're not using AIM Chess. AIM Chess is a digital chess trainer that helps you improve by creating unique lessons based on your recent games. Just link your chess.com, Chess or Chess24 account and feel that brain wrinkle. Yeah, see, you shouldn't have blundered your queen just there. Now I know! Thanks, AIM Chess! Now all that's left to figure out is how that funny horse moves. They even got acquired by that one chess player other than Hikaru, so you know it's good. Hi, it's me, that guy I just mentioned, and I am the best chess man in the world. But thanks to AIM Chess, I also have a girlfriend now as well. This could be you! Personalized training, game reports and analysis disease, study plans, thick, luscious hair, intuition builder, all this and more available on AIM Chess.
Hello?
Courtney, did you know that AIM Chess users improve their ratings 43% faster than average?
What?
So what are you waiting for? Join AIM Chess today. Links will be somewhere, probably. I don't know, I just made the video. AIM Chess. Sign up now and get 50k silver and 2 free months off your VPN. Now that's what I call a queen's gambit. That's so fucking dumb. AIM Chess. For when you aim to chess. That's their slogan. It's what they say. Ready, aim, chess. That's another. It's... Look, just sign up for AIM Chess, okay? Just, come on, literally, why not? Alright, just stop being a dick for like 5 seconds and just go, alright? Jesus Christ.
Okay, so let's send a challenge.
Here is challenging. Nice graphics, easy to see. Oh, what are you thinking about? You're looking how it can be the most painful?
Exactly. Okay, fine.
So that I give up a phone. He wants to be even rude.
Welcome everybody!
My name is Jan Pomnishi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judith Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Gains that confidence, plays a few good events, stops looking inwards into his own insecurities.
I like the no expectation part, so like that's something that has gotten better because sure, it's like not my full-time job.
It's definitely good for chess in India, and now there is Olympiad also, so there'll be more people following and taking up chess as professional sport.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly concrete still, no? Like, e takes d4, good move. This d takes d4, this d takes d5.
This line was essential and forced, but also not rocket science to map out.
Air quality isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think about chess and esports, but it affects our focus, decision-making, health, sleep, and more. What's in the air you breathe? Find out with AirThings.
Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses.
This is John. John loves to study chess. This is David. David loves to study chess as well, but efficiently. John spends more time setting up the board and figuring out what's on the page of his book than he gets to study. David likes to take it easy and use his time wisely. David has finished his exercise for today. John should try the same.
Seriously? Checkmate! Aim Chess is an intelligent system that analyzes your game, prevents mistakes, and develops recommendations for improving your skill. Phew!
It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts. Chessable. Take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Hi there, it's me, John Chess, inventor of chess. And are you sick of sucking at chess? Well, lucky for you, I have also invented aim chess. Look at this chess puzzle.
Welcome everyone. We're into the finals. It's the Chessable Masters, and we started with 16 players, and they've been whittled down to just 2 players in the final. We have Ding Liren against Ramesh Babu Pragnananda, and this is a really intriguing matchup. Who would have predicted that we would have had this final? Perhaps Ding in the final could have been predicted, but to have Pragnananda there is really something else. Jan, how are you doing?
I'm good. I certainly didn't predict it, but we will have to get used to it. It looks like Pragnananda is here to stay in this format, fought for victory in the last event he played, and now, still to me, sensationally beat Wei Yi and Giri back-to-back. Faces his steepest challenge, world number 2, Mr. Ding. Who do we think will win?
Well, we keep going with the favourites, but we've been confounded over the last few days. I think given how well Ding played against Magnus yesterday, I thought he was technically brilliant, tactically and strategically absolutely on the highest level to beat Magnus. He showed that. I'm just not just about the final game, which was, I think, strategically a well, to some extent, a masterpiece, actually. But actually, in the drawn games where he showed that he had the necessary technique to sometimes steer a game safely into quiet waters and to make a draw, I thought Ding was really on top form. So he has to be the favorite.
Yeah, I'll go Ding as well. Wouldn't be the first time. Pragnananda proves me wrong. And we have liftoff. Good old Nimzo Indian.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Just looking at their stats, they have actually played on 3 occasions, rapid play, and actually it's all square, 1.5 all. They've had a draw. They've had it, well, at least probably according to my deficient chess base program.
I know, because my stat said it's 2-1 for Ding, but like,
oh, maybe
I
that
might be wrong. I thought Ding won 2 and lost 1.
Maybe that includes the preliminaries.
Yeah, he beat him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm missing that one. Before this tournament, you could say it was 50-50. They had a draw and win for Prague, win for Ding. And yes, I forgot about the preliminaries actually. But still, close enough, and it shows that Prague, does have the ability to get under his skin. It's a good old Queen's Gambit exchange variation.
Yeah, a bit interesting that Ding chose not to play the Nimzo, which 90% of top players do here. But I have some sympathy for the Kasper. We've talked about it the other day a bit, that it's making a bit of a comeback from Black's point of view, with the likes of Mickey Adams, and now many top players as well, going here, playing these H6 positions. So let's see what they have in store.
Yeah, and I think you were pointing out. Whoops, hang on.
Is that me? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. You were pointing out the other day that it's a nuance that, in fact, White doesn't have to play the Queen to C2 in these lines, which gives White a few more options.
Yeah, there's a big crossroad where after E3, Black, if he wants to, can go for these endgames with Bishop F5, mainline is Queen F3. Takes, but it's not exactly how Ding plays usually, trying to block the game right from the get-go. And he goes H6, Bishop E6, but now, yeah, White will try to do without Queen to C2, which is what we saw the other day. And we have this trendy position where now A4 is what people automatically play. Like, I don't think Botvinnik would have endorsed A4 here, or Capablanca. They used to play these F3 plans, very natural. But it seems like this counterplay with B5 is quite serious, keeping this option to go B4 and C5 before White does anything in the center. So computers just say A4 is the move, and top players agree.
Yeah, but as you say, there is good reason for it because of this this B5, B4 stuff with actually Black breaking with C5, and that kind of thwarts White's ambitions in the middle of the board to break with F3 and E4. I think that's the thing.
It's clearly correct. It's still so strange to me because B5, in the old days, we would also just have considered a positional blunder, right? Like weakening the pawn on C6. So, yeah, it's amazing the kind of things that work now, and that in this position where everybody all their life at least considered the minority attack to be what White should be doing on the queen side. Now you just go A4 and say, I don't need the queens. It's still confusing to me.
Very. So, I mean, I think Black basically had a decision in this position, even before knight H5. You have to decide, do you want to block that A pawn? You know, you can play A5 here and just say, well, hang on, you know, there's a square on B4. The only thing is, when that knight on D7, well, has already moved to D7, if it could sink itself on B4 via A6 and B4, then, well, yeah, there could be more of a point to A5. But we saw, hang on, it was David Anton, wasn't it? Who
was Anton with Black against Magnus, slightly different position, but same structure. And there we saw that once White does go F3, Black typically wants to go for C5, get some counterplay. And that's just a lot worse if you've weakened the the b5 square by playing a5. So it seems the consensus at this point is that black should not go a5, just to keep this option of countering with c5 down the stretch.
But then sorry, excuse me.
Okay. No, it's just another new thing, I thought, because in the old days I would have blitzed out a5 and thought, you idiot, you've given up all your queenside play.
Yeah. But what's interesting is that if black doesn't do that, then the pawn steps forward another square. And then with the pawn on a5, then we can say, aha, okay, this looks kind of more normal again, because at some moment, white will have the possibility to just disturb the pawns with a6, or if black plays a6, then those squares b6, c5 could potentially be occupied. So that now it looks like a more standard position somehow.
Yeah, a bit, with the pawn being here. And I thought, I'm not sure about the move or the ding starts with knight f8, but I thought generally they are happy playing a6 here, saying you can have these squares, but there will be no pawn breaks on the queen side. I'll try to hold that structure and go for counterplay on the king side. This is what I believe Ali Reza did recently against Caruana. So I would expect Ding to play a6 at some point, but let's see what he's up to. Goes knight f8, not worried about a6 yet. Knight c1 by Pragnanda, hits the knight and also prepares to go over here. And the knight just goes back. Queen g5 looked tempting, but there's probably something wrong with it. Not sure what, to be honest, but he's not into it. Maybe e4 or something. I know, but e4 knife.
I mean, yeah, queen g5 looks okay, but the rate of knots that Ding is playing, he obviously knows what he's doing. So the knight has just come back to f6.
Knight to b3. Naturally enough, still possible to go a6, although Prag is saying, my knight is already here. Do you really want to give me all these squares now that I put the knight on b3? So maybe he's trying to make it a little less enticing.
Yeah, maybe Ding is just looking to, is he just going to play knight e6 and...
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, if black plays too slowly, not sure where the white pieces go, but this plan is still alive, right? Rook e1, f3, and potentially go forward in the center. I'm not sure where the black pieces go, to be honest, after this knight f6 back.
I was just thinking he in that case, he would try to force through c5. But anyway, let's see.
Pragnanda. He spent 2 minutes, but he clearly also knows what he's doing. He's just, Yeah,
the other thing about
very well prepared.
Yeah, the other thing about knight e6 is that because black has the queen and rook on the e file hitting e3, then maybe you can actually put the knight on g5 and spin it back into e4 because f3 isn't possible there. It's another option.
Let's see what he goes for. I'm very unsure also about this bishop. Now the typical plan would be to go bishop g4, bishop h5, bishop g6 to get rid of it. Might be a little slow. Yeah, Ding does none of these things. He goes rook to b8, probably preparing for a6, saying, I will now take this and use the b file, while not committing to any minor piece maneuvers yet.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And, possibly later just wanting to play b6 himself and just saying I'm okay there and later even c5.
Yeah, he's not an a6 man. He has his own views. But also chess is so concrete. He's, of course, adjusting to knight c1, knight b3 played by Pragnanda, which certainly wasn't the only option. Now let's see what Prag does. The Standard setup would be to put the queen somewhere, d2 or c2, go rook a1, and still fish for this. Yeah, he goes queen c2.
Yeah, but this whole thing looks, I don't know, with the knight over on b3, it just feels slightly funny from White's viewpoint, actually.
I quite like it. This maneuver they do in some other positions as well, mainly just so the knight doesn't stand on e2, so we can go rook e1 at f3, and this pawn is covered. It's not so easy to find the proper square for the knight, because on the king side it can also be a little awkward. After knight g3, there's knight g4 and whatnot. So I don't mind it that much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that when that rook comes to e1, you know, I always think that the queen can shoot over to b4 and actually be a bit annoying looking at the pawn and the knight.
Yeah. We'll trap it. I'm an expert trapping queens there. Like you go knight c5, knight a2.
You are.
Oh, b6. Ding is not hiding his intentions. He just wants to go b6, c5, make this knight look stupid indeed. Very direct play.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I have to say, I quite like it.
He's given this some thought here, doing without a6 and going for this very quick b6, c5.
But once again, this is sort of very unusual strategy.
Yeah.
The fact that black with this so-called Carlsen structure is, you know, voluntarily weakening in inverted commas the queenside pawns and just playing very directly for c5 is unusual. You know, we're always taught to look at the other side of the board in these kind of positions, but well, seems pretty reasonable here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how White should react. Like c5 appears to be a threat with these pieces being placed here. Knight a4 comes to mind. I guess black just goes bishop d7 and then thinks about c5 at a later stage.
Yeah, and then, you know, White's minor pieces actually could be very awkwardly placed if c5 does come. Yeah, so far looks nice. I mean, I suppose the traditional way to counter c5 is to try and get some pressure on d5, but it's not happening here.
Hard to do, yeah.
Yeah, really. Feels at the moment comfortable for black. And Prag, yeah, down to 10 minutes. Did you hear about Prag taking exams? He had an exam today.
Oh, he had to take some? I thought he skipped them. Maybe he thought he wouldn't make the finals, and he scheduled them for the finals.
Apparently 8:40. He finished the match yesterday at 2 a.m. Chennai time, and he was up at 8:45 to take an exam.
Okay, so he had like 6 hours to study if he didn't sleep.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
What was the topic?
I think it was business studies or something like that. I'm not sure. But that's what I thought I saw somewhere on Twitter.
Looks like his business is going quite well, no? Like you get 750 for a win here, and what's first prize? 25,000, 30K?
25,000 first prize, I believe. Second prize is 15,000. Oh yeah, I think we have a graphic there.
It's not bad business for a 16-year-old for a week of work. No,
taking care of business, yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, looking good.
So he went AB and knight d2, saying, all right, my knight on b3 is not so well placed to meet your plan, but you might have weakened your queen side a little bit, so I'll just head back towards more traditional squares for the structure. Reasonable.
Reasonable, yeah. No, he's not phased. And yeah, just saying, okay, at the moment I've got an A file. And okay, you work out whether it's possible to push these pawns or not. Doesn't seem terrible to play c5 for me.
It's a bit tempting. I was also curious. White goes knight f3, we might just continue pushing. C4
Absolutely.
and b5.
Yeah. That feels like in these Queen's Gambit positions, it's always the big dilemma. You've got your pawn on c5. Do you push it one more to c4? In some positions, it's good. Some it's bad. Sometimes you allow white to break afterwards with e4. Sometimes the knight comes to e5. It's quite a delicate strategic decision, but here seems fine for black. I think particularly, well, as the pawns are chasing forward very quickly, but also with the exchange of dark squared bishops, that's always quite a big strategic gain, I always feel, for black in these Queen's Gambit positions. I mean, there are so many variations where black achieves that, you know, whether it's the Lasker variation or in the Tartakova, and it just gives black's queen more freedom.
Yeah, it's not that the dark square bishop was a bad bishop,
no,
but you just need some squares for your pieces behind
exactly.
the structure.
Yeah, and this seems to be the case, and he has advanced to c4.
Yeah, that here I think it's an obviously good decision. The c4 thing is interesting because once again, I feel like the old knowledge maybe let us down a bit, because the usual mantra used to be don't push c4, you need to keep some tension in the center. If you go c4, you give up that tension and you will be steamrolled in the center. But more often than not, the c4, b5, b4 plan just gives black a lot of counterplay too. I remember when they first had chess computers that were able to play that, it used to be common strategy to play something like this, and they would always push c4, and you would think, the stupid engines, they don't understand it. They always go for this, and now we shall checkmate them, which sometimes worked back then. But maybe c4, I'm not sure in this position, is not as horrible as we thought back then, because that was always to show the superiority of human strategy. Computers just don't get. You should never play c4 in these positions.
But this was, you know, also the early decades of the 20th century. I mean, this whole strategy with playing with the structure we have here, f2, e3, d4, and just playing the knight to e5 and playing f4, almost under any circumstances. You know, if you look at games from tournaments of that time.
Pillsbury,
the Pillsbury attack, of course, he well, I don't know if he started it, but he famously played some nice games with it. And everyone used to do it. I mean, it was just, you know, whether it was good or whether it was bad, it was like the only strategy that players seemed to have at that time. But yeah, we've moved on.
Yeah, that guy was amazing, Pillsbury. You're much more of a chess historian than me. He got ill at a very young age, right? But he was completely dominating, I think, when he was 21 or 22 for a tournament or two. Like, I'm fascinated with these Americans.
Yeah.
Because if you go through chess history, obviously Fischer is the big name, but there were a lot more like big name American players often who had their moment and then disappeared, like Morphy, Pillsbury, and so on. It's quite a long list, actually.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, you know, you can America is kind of a world in itself. It's large enough that you just kind of disappear back there and you're still in your world. I think that's what happened to a lot of players, actually. I mean, not just talking about the stars like Morphy, Pillsbury, Fischer, but actually, you know, lesser names. You know, if you think in the 1930s, like Reuben Fine, who was fantastically strong.
He was amazing too. I wouldn't call him a lesser name. Even he was right on top, and then he also. But I think he fits in. He also had a short career. He went on to do some other stuff. No?
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. He basically disappeared back to America, and that was that. Yeah, I mean, a fantastically strong player. But yeah, this basically disappeared back to America. Yeah.
95 played here, threatening a little fork. But first of all, how big a threat is it if we keep pushing? I was curious about that. Takes, and is there any shenanigans here? I guess not. Yeah, I couldn't quite make it work.
Yeah, it's
Queen b8. But it's probably not enough, because the knights are too far away. Like
probably not.
Goes somewhere, I don't know where, whatever. And takes rook b1. Although even this position, I'm not sure who's better and why if this pawn stays alive. It looks a bit risky.
Rook c1.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looks a bit much.
Little bit. Yeah, but close. I mean, always worth a look.
Yeah, of course, far from forced. Black can just play queen d6 with what looks like a very comfortable position. Then recapture here and keep pushing.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah,
if he spots a tactic, he'll go.
Yeah. But lots of ways for black to play.
Yeah. Could also take, but why force the queen there? I don't think he needs to. Yeah, queen d6 just looks sound.
Yeah, I mean, it does look sound, but it depends whether you think the queen is actually doing much on f5. I'm not sure it is actually, because I mean, obviously rook c8 here, but you know, queen e6 can come anyway. Oh, knight b5. Whoops.
Yeah, there's some cheapos at least.
Yeah, okay. Queen e6. Anyway, yeah, you don't need to play it.
Ding, taking his time.
Mm.
Opening was clearly a success for him. Seemed to know the intricacies. Even of this knight c1, knight b3, countered very nicely. But now he has to develop.
Yeah, in all those variations, of course, there's just rook a7 to be wary of when the queen leaves the 7th rank. So, yeah, he needs to think it through just a little carefully.
Still obsessed with this, but probably I should just accept it doesn't work. Here he comes, but he took on f5 first. Queen f5 and b4. How does this go? Knight c6. Ah, now he can go with this inclusion. Let's say queen d6 takes and bc. With a queen here, these pawns are pretty serious.
Yeah, okay, that's more interesting. Okay, that's, as you say, it's very, very Ding-like. As he, spots a little tactical nuance.
Nicely done.
Okay, so if let's bung the knight on a4 and just say, well, at least, you know, it might be able to anchor itself on c5.
Yeah. Still, these pawns are so far. This hasn't gone great. For Prague, I don't know, some move. I still want to go here.
Yeah, chuck it on c5.
Yeah, no, I should. If I don't blunder anything, black will be in great shape. The question is if there's any cheapos here. Okay, 6. b6 takes. Knight d7.
It's getting a little bit tricky. I'm noting that white has a back rank as well. Which could be significant at some moment.
Pragnandago goes 92. Not fishing for these squares. But yeah, he's worse. These pawns are too strong.
Yeah, I feel that's kind of backing down a bit. I mean, knight a4 is very, very tricky, but after knight e2, it's kind of clear that, you know, black is for choice there.
Yeah, it's an admission.
Yeah,
things have gone wrong. He might be right though, and they were wrong already. Looks like Ding is teaching a very, very new lesson, because I don't think I've seen this plan in this structure on how these positions are played nowadays. It's really a new world with all this a4 business. What now? Is he gonna worry about knight c6 at some point?
And if so, what to do about it? So is he going to play the queen e6? Is he going to play queen d6? Is he worried about queen c7? Rook a8. Okay, yeah, that I understand, because there's always an irritation with the rook coming down the a file.
Yeah, it's just a nice move.
Yeah. Okay, that's yeah, it's a really good move, because now white, it's not absolutely clear where white's counterplay is coming from.
No, you want to hit this pawn, but it's not so easy to even attack it multiple times. Like knight f4, we could still stabilize with a good old queen d6. It's not even clear if there are any threats.
Absolutely, and the thing is, black's pawns are so far advanced that very often, you know, they can just roll.
It's also this typical idea we learned from, I guess, Capablanca, to play b3 and put a rook on a2, asking some unpleasant questions. Of course, c3 always looming. This knight strays too far away. These pawns are very, very dangerous.
Yep. Okay, looking smooth so far for Ding. How's he looking? Let's have a look at the cameras.
He's looking focused but confident.
Yeah.
As anybody would in this position.
Has Prag had enough sleep? This is the thing.
Sounds like a rough schedule. You finish playing Anishgiri at 2 a.m. Then, yeah. Normally, I don't know how it is for Prag, but normally you can't go straight to sleep after something like that happens. You need some to wind down a bit. And yeah, then to have, I don't know, 4 hours later, have an exam, and then meet world number 2 Ding in the finals the same day. Also should prepare for those. And yeah, I guess we'll give him a pass if things don't go too well today.
You are really, really tough. I always struggled with that, I have to say. I really struggled to sleep during tournaments because, you know, the adrenaline is just coursing through your body. You know, try to go for long walks, I don't know, cold showers, you know, I tried it all. It's not easy. You know, Jan, did you have a trick, sleeping trick during tournaments?
I don't have many skills, but sleeping I'm excellent at. Like,
oh, that's good.
For me, I mean, usually everyone has their own schedule. It's more that after a game, or even after doing commentary or streaming or whatever, I can't go straight to sleep. I need like 1-2 hours of whatever you want to call it, winding down, free time, watch some basketball, do some nonsense. And that I also have during tournaments, but normally, I don't know. You're done at 9, you go for dinner, maybe you check your next opponent a bit, you go for a walk, and then, yeah, I never had trouble falling asleep.
Oh, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. That's a superpower, to be able to sleep.
I don't think it's very high on the list. When people are asked, which superpower would you like to have? They don't choose sleep. They choose like flight or invisibility.
Well, maybe because it's always been a problem for me, then, you know, it's more on my mind. It would be for me.
But are you productive when you can't sleep? My problem is, once I'm tired, I also can't get anything done. So it's just,
it's difficult.
Sitting there.
I struggle.
96, Ding doesn't seem to struggle here. Just firmly in control, really. This knight looks very nice, but it's not doing enough. And it also can't get back so easily to fight against these pawns. Like after c3, it can jump. But for now, white just doesn't have enough of a counterweight to balance these guys. There's a thing I'm reading in the chat. Wesley once said he tried to sleep 12 hours of sleep a night. Not sure if that's true, but a lot of these top chess players, they sleep a lot of hours. Maybe that's the secret. Magnus, I don't think he does 12, but he also very regularly sleeps 10 hours, which, yeah, I can't do like 7, 8. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, likewise. Okay, well, I mean, it was easier before kids, you know. Basically, kids shattered my sleep routine. You know, it's as simple as that. Never got it back.
I hear you. 96. And by kids shattering your sleep routine, you mean that you have to stay up late commentating Pragnanandar games, right?
Exactly. All the kids.
I don't see a good move. This position is just very sad for white. Knight c6, queen d6 does nothing. maybe you take. And I guess he wants to take with the queen because his endgame also looks very, very pleasant for black.
It does, but I mean, maybe let me try and find a little flame of hope in this position and try to fan it manically. I mean, in this endgame, if we, I mean, the back rank is an issue. If we play f3 to shut out the knight, and we can at least say, well, yeah, the knight's not coming back at the moment, but it might in a second. Are you going to play b3 anyway?
I want b3, yeah, just.
Yeah, okay, so I travel with the king. Let me try this. Or is rook a2 just, well, okay, let me try king f2. Let me just try to run as quickly as possible. This is my little flame of hope.
How do we extinguish that flame?
So cruel, so cruel.
Rook b8, is that a move? Maybe not a smart move. Nah, knight c6 bothers me. Rook a2 you want to take, yeah? Rook a1.
I was hoping I could take and then bring the king as quickly as possible.
King e2 have rook b8, so you probably have to hit the
rook
pawn
a1
first. Oh, yeah. King comes. Where should my knight be? It needs a while. Yeah, maybe this is fine for white.
In any case, this is all completely irrelevant because
we're far away from the game. Yeah.
Yeah, Prague's gone knight h5.
Oh. What's that about? Ding jumps to e4, letting this knight live. I would have taken it.
Yeah, interesting. Seems.
Isn't there a tactic? Takes, knight c6.
Oh, and queen takes d5.
Yeah.
My oh my. I mean, maybe he's saying that he's not bothered by that. Let's play it out. So queen d6, queen d5, takes, knight e7, knight takes. Now, the b pawn is on prise. You could actually still play rook a2 anyway. Yeah, let me try that one.
Yeah, I go rook b1.
Okay, so now do we push b3 or can we push c3 anyway? You got to watch it. There's actually, unfortunately, there's a checkmate on b8.
That one I spotted, but knight d2.
Knight d2 is an issue, yeah.
Knight b4, rook a4, and rook d1, rook b2. I don't know, it didn't happen, but it doesn't feel like white is lost there. These pawns are a bit...
Maybe not. Very forcing position.
Instead, Pragnanda went knight g3 back. Still trying to exchange this knight. Now Ding could keep it if he wants to by going knight d6. I'd still take it. Go b3. And blunder. The same trick again. But this might be a good version now.
Yeah, but this knight spinning around to g3, I'm not quite sure what it's achieved somehow.
Not much. It's just a bad position.
So yeah, knight d6. Where's the queen going? If it goes back to f3, then well, queen b7.
It's on the board.
It's on the board, is it? Queen b7? Yeah. Feels like that's been of benefit for black, really. I mean, the queen is just in a nice position.
Yeah. I guess you try fishing for some counterplay here. Some knight h5, queen g4. But too dangerous, it does not look.
It's pretty fast, and like I keep coming back to this. You know, White's king hasn't got an escape square, so when they land with some force.
Very much so. What can you do? Okay.
Oof,
he goes knight f5. He really, really wants to exchange that knight.
Yeah.
But he's spending moves and moves chasing the knight, and the exchange, it's not like White's problems are gone when it disappears.
No, not at all.
Takes and still b3 or c3. But Ding is much sharper. Goes knight g5. Now he takes, and I guess he wants to get rid of this guy. What does he want? No, he just wants the knight here. Not in a hurry.
It's so interesting, you know. Ding he's squeezing the absolute maximum from the position. He's, you know, it's no half measures at all.
Yeah, sees he can win this one tempo to put his knight here, where it still has all the options: jump back, jump forward, support the c3 pawn. He's just on top of his game.
Prag under 1 minute. Ding has over 4 minutes. This is looking pretty desperate for Prag now.
And also, it's easy to say with hindsight, but I like the idea, now that it's working, from the more experienced player to play sort of a classical structure where Prag's tactical vision maybe is less important than understanding the nuances of this pawn structure and so on. And these are very new nuances, as we've mentioned, this b6, c5, and so on. But Ding felt very, very comfortable, like knowing where the pawns go. So it looks like he chose wisely.
Now
he plays b3. Yeah, these pawns are just coming. c3, b2, knight takes c3 will land very, very soon.
Wow. And look at the eval bar. It's just, it's blacked out completely. Poor old Prag.
King h2, he's also, he's playing a bit slowly. There's no stopping these pawns.
Yeah.
And now Ding will have to calculate the finale. Let's see if we can manage with direct stuff. Takes in c3.
Is he just relying on the fact that f7 is on prise? So okay,
he's hoping for this.
Yeah,
and rook b2.
Yeah,
but not happening.
But I wonder whether you just flick in. I was going to say flick in f6 first, or is that?
I just want a knight takes c3, and I also didn't see anything.
Yep.
b2 is next.
Yep. Yeah, looks pretty clean.
Started with c3.
Yep.
Yeah. Takes.
Okay, I think we're going to see it now.
Ding still has time to calculate what he considers to be the cleanest finish. Yeah, he takes on a1. I would assume just takes. Yep, here it goes.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, very simple.
It's just over.
Yeah.
Making it look easy. Push your queen side, queen the bean pawn. That's it.
But that's the thing. It's one of these games which is it's deceptively easy, isn't it? Because actually all along the way, as we've seen, Ding was actually exploiting little tactical nuances to gain some kind of little strategic plus. It's really impressive. Okay, so if we push, rook takes knight, queen.
It's queen. Queens are pretty good.
Oh,
maybe once rook b3, but even here b1 is not a whole lot of fun for white. Rook takes, knight takes.
Oh no, but you play queen. You play queen takes b1.
Oh, did I blunder?
Maybe.
Oh, I would manage to mess this up.
That's his little trick. There you go. We shouldn't underestimate Prag's trickiness. Okay, so
let's do better.
f6. It's such an ugly move, but by this stage, it doesn't matter, does it?
Hang on.
I think
B2, rook B3. Now that I know this trick, can I take here? Or am I still running into perpetual? D takes E, queen B3,
so.
queen
Queen
C8.
Yeah, still draw.
Not enough.
It's always the same at the end of a game. You have to just calculate through to the finish. This is where precision is absolutely necessary in every single game.
Especially at this level. Like sometimes against much weaker opponents, you can win just by class, but these guys, they always find a way to make you calculate and take decisions.
Yeah.
Even here, when frankly I thought it was just over, but that's a very nice trick. This B2, rook B3, B1, queen takes.
Okay, so let me.
King just goes rook F8.
He doesn't want my ugly F6. He
doesn't.
I'd rather play rook F8, which is just keeps everything absolutely tight.
Very nicely done. Now B2 is coming. Knight takes, queen takes. They will make some more moves, but it's hopeless for white. Maybe they won't even make many more moves.
Yeah, and the point is that the knight can spin back via E4 to safety and to F6, and everything is protected, and then it's just an extra piece.
Okay, 6. Knowing Ding, he might just calculate some knight D1 nonsense, but yeah, knight E4 does get the job done nicely.
Yeah. Wow, what a game! Yeah, well,
thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's super solid because that means the knight is the queen defends the pawn on D5, and then the knight is really free to come back.
Says one piece is enough. I don't need any more fancy. Just organize and win.
And the rook is he has played rook A1. Yeah. So yeah, knight E4. What's wrong? Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with resigning here either. No. Knight is worth 3 pawns. White only has 1. Good job by Ding. What's the modus, by the way? They play 4 games today. Then, in case of a 2-2, they don't play a tiebreak today, right? Then it's just a 2-2. And should there be another 2-2 tomorrow, then we get a tiebreak.
Exactly. It's 4 games. Well, we might only see 3 games today if Ding reaches 2.5. But yeah, if it's 2-2, no tiebreak, and then we have another 4-game set tomorrow. So we are guaranteed 2 days in this final.
Beautiful. But we're not guaranteed 4 games. If Ding keeps doing this, we might be out of here at like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time to say goodbye for Pragnanda here. There's a question by Juan GM. Which player do you miss most in the candidates? He's even giving some options. Aronian, Geary, Wesley, another.
Interesting one. All of the above. I would pick, there we go. Actually, Prag has resigned. So let's just clear this one up before we discuss the candidates. First blood to Ding Liren, and what a smooth game. I mean, really deeply impressive from Ding Liren.
Yeah, just a model game for these new structures. Very, very nice stuff.
And winning with the black pieces as well in that first game, also very handy indeed. So the next game will be in roughly, we think 10 to 15
minutes.
Yeah, roughly 10 minutes. Yeah, coming back to the candidates. Okay, you mentioned those 3 names, Aronian, So, and Geary. Of those 3, well, as I said, all of the above, but I would actually pick Wesley because I feel he hasn't had a really good shot at the candidates because, well, if you remember in Berlin in 2018, he really crashed in that tournament. And I don't think that's really a fair reflection of his strength. So for that reason, I would really like to see Wesley actually play in the candidates tournament. But yeah, not happening this time. How about you, Jan?
Yeah, sort of agree with Wesley. It would be very interesting to see if he can reach that next level. Like, we know he's extremely well prepared, super solid. But last time in the candidates, he felt, he said afterwards as well, his preparation wasn't sufficient. And he, of course, relies on it heavily. So it would be interesting to see him get another shot now with even more experience and so on. But you can't go wrong with any of those. Of course, Levon has a long history in the candidates, typically, not playing his best there for whatever reasons. It would always be nice to see him while he's still in his prime get one more shot.
Yeah, he also bombed in Berlin, actually.
Yeah, not just in Berlin, but he's had a few.
Yeah.
Anish, I always enjoy watching. He's come deceptively close to qualifying as well. Even in, when was it, 2016, when he drew all games famously, he had a lot of nice ideas, a lot of very promising positions. And last time around, he came close, then he lost one of these he felt was a must-win game to Grishuk, like with 3 rounds to go or something. But he came very close after he beat, sorry, all the games are a blur in my mind. He beat Fabi, right, with black, and then
he did.
He was almost there.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to forget that in Yekaterinburg, he actually had fantastic chances with like 2 or 3 rounds to go. So Anish came incredibly close, and that would have been an interesting World Championship match, actually, because given that Anish's preparation is really superb, and I would say very well suited for a traditional classical match, actually.
Yeah, his social media game is also on top. Would certainly have been fun. But yeah, we chicken out, or I chicken out. And I said all 3 would have been great. The ones we have are great too. Many great players out there. We'll go on a very short break and be back with the next game. I'm seeing some complaints about the mic in the chat, that when we switch scenes, we get louder or less loud. Be more specific, chat. Maybe we can look if we don't have the same volume in all the scenes. We'll work on it. See you soon.
It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts. Chessable. Take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Hi there, it's me, John Chess, inventor of chess. And are you sick of sucking at chess? Well, lucky for you, I have also invented aim chess. Look at this chess puzzle. Did you solve it? Of course not, that's because you're not using Aim Chess. Aim Chess is a digital chess trainer that helps you improve by creating unique lessons based on your recent games. Just link your chess.com, Chess, or Chess24 account and feel that brain wrinkle. Yeah, see, you shouldn't have blundered your queen just there. Now I know! Thanks, Aim Chess! Now all that's left to figure out is how that funny horse moves. They even got acquired by that one chess player other than Hikaru, so you know it's good. Hi, it's me, that guy I just mentioned, and I am the best chess man in the world. But thanks to Aim Chess, I also have a girlfriend now as well. This could be you! Personalized training, game reports and analysis disease, study plans, thick, luscious hair, intuition builder, all this and more available on Aim Chess.
Hello?
Courtney, did you know that Aim Chess users improve their ratings 43% faster than average?
What?
So what are you waiting for? Join Aim Chess today. Links will be somewhere, probably. I don't know, I just made the video. Aim Chess. Sign up now and get 50k silver and 2 free months off your VPN. Now that's what I call a Queen's Gambit. That's so fucking dumb. Aim Chess. For when you aim to chess. That's their slogan. That's what they say. Ready, aim, chess. That's another. Look, just sign up for aim chess, okay? Just come on. Literally, why not? All right, just stop being a dick for like 5 seconds and just go. All right? Jesus Christ.
Okay, so let's send a challenge.
Here is challenging. Nice graphics, easy to see. Oh, what are you thinking about? You're looking how it can be the most painful?
Exactly. Okay, fine.
That I give up a phone. He wants to be even rude.
Welcome everybody. My name is Jan Nepomniachtchi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judith Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
All right, welcome to the course. This is my first course here on Chessable. My name is Sam Shankland, and we are looking at lifetime repertoires, the Semi-Slav. So before we get into the course, I just want to briefly introduce myself. I am a Grandmaster from the United States. I was the US champion in 2018. I have been well over 2,700, and I hope to be well over 2,700 again once this lockdown is over. But I wanted to show what this course is all about. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Here we have the lifetime repertoires, the Semi-Slav. Let's start with the introduction, just to show what I'm covering. But yeah, there is video here that where I explain everything that I go over. So the Semi-Slav would start with d4, d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, and e6. Now, this course covers everything after d4 up through the Semi-Slav. So basically here after d4, while White's best chance to fight for an advantage is going to be c4 on the second move. He has other variations available to him, such as the London system or the Verisov or whatever else he might dream up on a given day. And this course covers all of that stuff. Let's take a look at how this course looks. So as you'll see, I've broke this down into various chapters from early sidelines to the dreaded exchange Slav all throughout. And there's a lot of things you can study in them. So for example, I also want to mention why I did this course. Obviously, if I was said I didn't have any hope of making any money by publishing a course, I would be lying, and you would know I'd be lying, and I'm not going to insult your intelligence by making such a claim. But the bigger reason that I chose to make this course was that I wanted to study the Semi-Slav. It's the same reason I wrote my books, Small Steps 1 and 2. That's because they're on a topic that I was interested in and wanted to study myself. And when you have, actual due dates and people grinding you to get stuff done, it forces you to do that work, which I think was very valuable for me. And I've been playing this repertoire myself ever since this repertoire was published. And I've won some nice games. I had a fantastic game with Anton Korobov and one with Wesley So. So for example, here in the London system, what we'll see is I have an interesting recommendation based upon playing g6 in a critical position as opposed to playing e6. It's this variation here. So starting with d4, d5, bishop f4. So most London system players nowadays have figured out that the most accurate move order is to start with bishop f4 on the second move as opposed to knight f3. And I believe that Black's best move order is to respond with c5. Following e3, knight c6. This is the main line of the modern London, knight f6, knight bd2. And in general in the London system, I'm recommending queen b6 at every single moment I can, and this position is no exception. Following queen b6, there's a very interesting line after dc5, queen b2, rook b1, queen c3, bishop b5. And at this point, as I wrote, almost every game is continued with e6, which probably will equalize, but I very much like the move g6. And the point is that Black wants to get his bishop to g7. And once he goes bishop g7 in castles, I think that he has a very, very healthy position, and one that can go wrong for White very quickly. I played this exact variation against Wesley So in the Banter Blitz Cup, and in terms of online blitz play, he's approximately the second best player in the world. I mean, I don't know, maybe Hikaru's better on some day, maybe he'd be number 3, but for the most part, Wesley's like really, really, really good at online blitz, just only, I would say, only seriously behind Magnus, and I completely crushed it, thanks in no small part to the work I had done on this course. So again, it's sort of selfish to say, oh, I did this course for me, but while I'm hopeful that it helps a lot of people, the analysis I think is up to the standard that I would play it myself in my own games, and I have played it myself. And I think, and you see that I try to annotate this as to the best of my ability. So that's one spot where I got to use it in my own practice. If I were to show another line that's closer to a main line, would be in the the delayed Moran with bishop e2, I dropped a fantastic novelty in this course, a new idea that I think also did a very good job against Dvorin Kolyasevich's repertoire on modern chess. So I did my best to annotate this stuff well. As you can see, I put my money where my mouth is, and I play my analysis in my own games, even in tournaments as important as the Olympiad or the online Olympiad. As well, I'd like to point out that I also included some annotated games with the goal of using them to explain how to handle various positions. So if I were to just choose one, let's take this one here. It's kind of random, and I write things like d takes c5 as per my recommendation. If you were to click on that, you would get to the relevant variation. Following bishop takes c5, queen d8, king d8. White's pawn on e4 makes his position a bit overextended already, and he will soon face concrete problems in keeping it alive. e5 is asking for trouble. Following knight g4, bishop g5 check, king e8, castle long. Just 13 moves into the game, white is busted. After knight d7, and disaster on f2 is unstoppable. This is one annotated game. There's a whole bunch of others. My goal is to illustrate the themes to the best of my ability. In any case, that'll do it for this Under the Hood. I really took a lot of pride in this work on the Semislav, and as mentioned, I've been using it in my own practice. It's certainly been good enough for me. So thanks very much for watching, and happy studying.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this short introduction to the Roy Lopez. So the Roy Lopez is a chess opening that appears after the move e4. Black replies e5. We play knight f3. Black replies knight c6. And now bishop to b5. This is the Roy Lopez. We intend to castle next, and we are building some initiative in the center later on by playing the move c3 and hopefully d4. It's a very solid and reliable opening. It has been played by basically all the world champions throughout the history of chess. It has been around for hundreds of years, and it can definitely last you a lifetime once you learn it. So I really recommend you all to try out the Roy Lopez.
Welcome back to game 2 of this final of the Chessable Masters. You can see the players are ready. They've got their fingers on the buttons, finger on the mouse, and ready to go. So Ding Liren won the first game. We're now going into game 2. And remember, this final is played over 2 days, 2 sets of 4 games. Yeah, and it occurred to me in that first game, obviously very, very smooth victory for Ding, that Pragg forgot to compromise. We saw, I think, particularly in that fascinating match between Carlsen and Ding yesterday, that when the players got into trouble in those first 3 games, Ding and Carlsen knew exactly the moment just to rein it back and to steer the game in sort of calmer waters. And Pragg just allowed these queenside pawns to advance, and he never quite, he didn't pick the moment when he should have just said, okay, I can just calm things down. It seems to me that, maybe just exchanging on c5 instead of allowing the pawn to advance to c4 might have been one option.
Yeah, I guess you could argue it comes with experience. We also saw it a bit yesterday in the match against Giri when he needed a draw. He only has 1 gear, right? He plays main lines and goes for it, which works more often than not, and it looks amazing when it works, but he doesn't have this damage control mode that we've seen from Ding or Magnus, which he's 16 years old and he's just starting to play against the world's very best. Sure will come, but I do agree, he made it a bit easy on Ding, although I haven't checked. He had this one moment where maybe there was some knight c6, queen takes d5, maybe there was a tactic. And also with him taking the exams, it does look, he's still focused, but it does look like he's a little tired, doesn't it?
Maybe. I mean, he just didn't find that little tactical nuance to disturb Ding's plan, which was just a bit too smooth, at this level. But yeah, as you say, I mean, I haven't checked whether that knight c6 move was possible, but it just seemed to me earlier when Ding got in the pawn wedge with c4 and then b5, b4. One way, I mean, I haven't checked it, but one way might have been just to exchange d4, c5, and just exchange pawns, and that would have been a lot safer.
Yep.
Anyway, what have we
Let's
got?
see
on the
what
board?
we have now.
Yep.
We have one of these Englishes that Ding likes to play. They never look like very much, but I've seen often in Ding's games, it looks like it's nothing. And then 5 moves later, he has big pressure. He seems to understand these structures really well. I do not. B3, bit of a sideline here. The main lines start with pawn to D3 or pawn to A3. But yeah, Ding understands the stuff. It never looks too scary. One sort of notable thing is here that Pragnant played knight B6, which is the old main line. But recently people stopped doing that and just started playing bishop C5 here, arguing this move already, we don't need to move the knight. So interesting, he goes with the old stuff.
Yeah, bishop C5. I don't understand that because, I mean, that was played in the World Championship match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Caruana Carlsen. Was it? Yeah, vice versa, Carlsen Caruana. And it seemed to work out very well there. So I'm not quite sure why this trend hasn't quite continued. Don't know.
I think it has, like, I think most guys do it. We've seen Anish play it recently,
right,
quite a bit as well. Just, yeah, surprisingly, Pragnant does it. Some people don't do it for repertoire reasons because they want to go for this knight b6 setup against everything. And here, in this move order, obviously, you have to do something about it. So here, black would be forced to play knight b6. But the move order from the game, I thought bishop c5 is a good move. Anyway, we have this sort of a slow build-up, and black has to decide how to arrange his pieces. I have to admit, I don't know theory here. f6 looks natural to me, when you have to wonder if some quick d4 would come, but doesn't seem that strong yet. Another typical setup is rook e8, bishop f8, and then put the bishop somewhere. Pragnant does none of these things, goes bishop f5.
That's unusual to my eyes, anyway.
Guess he maybe wants a quick queen d7, bishop h3, but it's an odd square for the bishop in these structures.
Yeah. Oh, very interesting.
d3 would be the standard reaction, of course. Not sure if white can do better here. One plan sometimes to play h3 to meet queen d7 with king h2, but here h3, I guess black could go e4. Or I don't know, actually, it's sharp.
I wonder whether the point of bishop f5, as opposed to, for example, bishop e6, is that sometimes in these positions, white actually likes to go e3, and you know, even flirt with d4. But so obviously after bishop f5 rules that out, as I'm assuming bishop d3 is just a good move. Anyway, it's gone d3, and as you say, I guess queen d7. Maybe that's just a little nuance. Don't know.
Yeah, still looks fairly standard with the bishop being slightly strangely placed. White could go rook e1, which is typical to keep this bishop. Don't know if he has anything more direct, like hitting the e5 pawn. I guess not, actually. We shall see. Ding knows his stuff here in these structures. I've never seen bishop f5 before. But Prag, with the energy you can usually see from his eyes, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it since you told us he had exams this morning, but he does look more tired to me than usual. Well, Ding, he just caught a fly with his bare hands out of the air.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. I blinked, I missed it.
He's looking if it's still there.
Oh! That's his superpower. There you are.
Yeah. It's an important skill for chess players, I'm sure. You've heard the story about, who was it, Rubinstein, who was followed around by the same fly for years. Like he would take a train from, I don't know, Prague to Munich, and the fly would just jump on the train and still be there with him when he arrived.
Wow.
So catching flies is a very important skill for chess players. Or keeping your mental sanity. But if you can't do that, catch them flies. Rook c1 played. Not afraid of bishop h3. I know how this goes. Probably some knight somewhere, yeah, hitting that pawn. Maybe going here. Looks logical. Having gone bishop f5 and queen d7, you might as well seize the moment and exchange this guy.
You think so? Yeah, I always feel that after the bishop exchange, things can't be too bad for black. Seems all reasonable.
Prague, not in a hurry, goes rook a8. He tries to wait a move if knight e4 comes. So now you can probably take it. Looks a bit odd, but this bishop is stupid now.
Yeah.
Queen e6. I think this is usually quite playable.
Really? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. You know more about these positions. I would think I would be pretty pleased with white to have that bishop.
a3 played. Sort of slow, hinting at b3, b4, asking if Pragnanda wants to play a5, which would be a micro weakening of the b5 square. Nothing decisive, but it could be a factor also later if there ever is a rook here. This pawn could be hanging some lines. I don't know. It never looks like anything to me for white, but I've seen Ding do this in similar positions many a time. Very often, he just has a good position. Around move 20.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if I just play a normal move, rook in the middle, rook e8.
Yeah, looks healthy enough as well. Knight a4. I'm not sure if knight a4 works so well. Rook e8 played. There you go. Doesn't bluff.
Yeah, but after bishop f8, black has sort of...
Yeah. Also, if you compare this to other theoretical lines like a3-1, f6, stuff like this, looks like black is at least half a tempo.
So basically, we're a bit confused.
I think Ding is saying, I don't want anything in particular. Let's just play. But so far, Prague has no reason to be too unhappy, unless... I don't know, forget that. I got excited about b5, knight d4 and something, but I don't really see what it is. Takes ed, just looks fine for black.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, I would start to be quite optimistic with black actually in those kind of positions, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't fully get them. Rook e1 looks so slow. If you do nothing, knight d4 or bishop h3 is next. And
yeah,
nothing to worry about.
The only thing that I think black has to be worried about here is that Ding has a 5-minute time advantage.
Yeah, maybe that's his main point. I'll just play a structure I know well, make moves quickly. Chat is saying Ding has 65 eyes, 1 for each square and 1 for flies. Could very well be true. Who was a guy with the many eyes in Greek mythology? Argos something? I think Argos.
I don't know. I can just think of one big one. Cyclops.
Yeah, he didn't have that many. In German, we have that expression, Argos Augen, which means
Argos Augen.
You see a lot of stuff.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that. We don't use that.
Bishop f8 played. And I don't see a good move. 92 is sort of typical in these structures, but still bishop h3. You can get rid of this guy. How bad can it be? Chat knows that Greek mythology. Confirms Argus. He was slaughtered by this other dude, Hermes.
Really?
Yeah. It's fine. It's violent stuff. Spiders have 8 eyes. Is that true?
I don't know. I can just think of there's a pop song. Not a pop song. A song by the Cramps. The Human Fly. Got 96 tears and 96 eyes.
That
was the Cramps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a fan?
Do you know them? The Cramps?
Never heard of them, to be perfectly honest. Is that a British rock band from?
No, they're American.
American.
Kind of had this. There was this genre of psychobilly. If that means anything.
Psychobilly. That's Billie Eilish.
No, psychobilly was kind of psychedelic rockabilly. Not Billie Eilish. Well, though, yeah, I like Billie Eilish actually.
I don't know. I'm no good with music unless we're talking classic rap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm very limited in my music knowledge.
Well, aren't we all? There's so much out there.
We all get stuck with whatever we like between 16 and 18 and then have that on repeat for the rest of our lives.
Oh, no.
No, not you? Yeah, you go with the times? I get that.
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't say I go with the times, but thank goodness I don't listen to what I was listening to between the ages of 16 and 18.
Okay.
No, I mean, you know, the stuff my kids play now, I just go, I'm afraid that, you know, I've just turned into a dad. You know, I just kind of go, what? You know, I don't get it. There are all these kind of sub-genres of rap, like grime is a big UK thing.
That's a big UK thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But the US things are also all this mumble rap, like it's I don't know. Is that even music anymore? Oh, we sound so old.
Golly, old. That's such a dad comment.
Yeah, every generation.
No, I'm
say that.
I'm there as well, but yeah, unfortunately, I have to be careful. Otherwise, you just, yeah.
Rook e1 played. He does want to keep his bishop, and pawn to a5. Also, sort of a typical idea here. He wants to provoke b5 before then going knight d4. So there's some weaknesses on the king side, on the queen side. Chat is saying mumble rap is dated, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I still hear a lot of mumbling. Future is still out there.
Never even heard of it. There you go.
Yeah, you
just went whoosh.
Pawn to a5. What do you think? Do you think Ding and Pragnananda, what music are they into?
Absolutely no idea. I have a feeling Ding might be kind of classic rock.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe. I don't know. Something a bit naff, I'm guessing.
Ding listens to polka, according to chat.
Polka?
That sounds like a lie. Ding is a Kraftwerk kind of guy.
Really? Do you know what? I actually really like Kraftwerk.
Yeah, I have my moments.
Yeah, Trans Europe Express is a bit of a. It's practically the only kind of music I can listen to when I'm actually writing something. There's sort of just that pulse in the background. You know, it's quite reassuring. Never used to like it, but actually in the last couple of years, really got into it. Actually, yeah, Trans Europe Express, I think my favorite.
Try it out. Pawn to a5. It's always a big subject, music, when we have these world championship training camps or even during the match, because we like to have some music in the background while we listen to, while we're working, but it's impossible usually to find something that everyone likes. It's very rough, like
difficult. Is it just can we just backtrack a moment? A5 is an interesting move because, you know, to actually challenge the pawn on b4. Can we just put the pawn back on b4? Because I mean, obviously the move that White would like to play here is b5.
Yeah, but knight d4.
But the knight d4 is a problem because the pawn on b5 it could be hanging, and you know, even in other circumstances, maybe just putting the pawn on a4 just to cramp White.
Here White goes a4, bishop b4. It gives up too many squares.
Exactly.
I think Ding has misplayed this a bit. Like this whole rook c1, bishop b2, a3, b3, b4, rook e1 doesn't look very convincing.
Yeah, so a5 and you know, Ding having to exchange on a5 Seems to me like a strategic game for black.
For sure. Yeah. Now it's also hard to move anything because there are all these vulnerable squares on the queen side. Prag goes h6, just making a luft. No, opening's gone very well for Pragnanda here.
Well, I want him to hit back. We need a good match.
And you can see the energy coming back. Pragnanda nodding.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Feeling himself.
The body language really does portray something.
H6 played. Chat is just talking music. They're recommending the Red Hot Chili Peppers to the players. I think that's too old for the players. I did enjoy what's the big album, Californication, Under the Bridge, but this is also like a million years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not particularly a fan. However, I do like Under the Bridge.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
It's a catchy one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pawn to h6. I don't see what white should do.
No. Difficult. The problem is the queen. The queen on d1. It hasn't got a good square to go to. And if you can't connect your rooks easily, pawn break's difficult. It's actually a little bit unpleasant.
h4. Whoa. It's another one of those that I wouldn't even consider, but nowadays in any position, h4 seems fair game. I would just think it's weakening the king further without gaining much.
Yeah.
Ooh. h4.
Yeah. Okay.
But maybe he also doesn't see what to do. So if in doubt, play h4.
Yeah, but I have to say I'm kind of baffled by that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's black up to? I mean, do you just play bishop h3, bishop g4? I'm never quite sure if we want to exchange those bishops here or just keep, the bishop on g4 is usually an irritant in these kind of positions.
Also, especially after h4,
yeah,
exchanging bishops becomes a bit tempting as well because g3 is weakened. Any options, I also wouldn't mind going back with his knight, although it's kind of nice to have these squares under control.
Yeah, I think so, actually. Yeah, one of those moves, flip a coin, bishop g4, bishop h3, I think would be my choice.
Looks good to me. Bishop g4, I guess then white goes queen c2, but then we could think.
Yeah.
I never understood these positions from either side, frankly, but this clearly is a good version for black. And Pragnanda is going rook a8, saying the rook has done his job in the middle of the board. Now let's keep an eye on a3.
Also very reasonable.
Ziri, always listening, but seldom useful. The move does look useful, though.
Yep. Okay, let's try and think of something positive for white here. Okay, knight c e4. Let's do that one.
Isn't this?
Yeah, this is
a nuisance.
It is a nuisance. Yeah, that is a pain. Bishop a1, you can just take it. Yep, that is a nuisance. So, well, I mean, I suppose I could continue just by playing queen c2 in that position. I don't like it, but it keeps things going.
No, giving up this bishop.
Yeah, but at least, well, the queen is developed. don't like giving up the bishop, but if I can play knight c5, then actually it might have cleared things a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I like bishops too much, but I also struggle to offer something more positive here.
Well, yeah, the other thing is you could play the other knight
here.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, true.
Not in love with it either. Just takes a bishop e6, but
yeah, queen b. Can you get away with queen b5, or is that just dropping a pawn? I want to play queen b5.
Takes is legal, but this is also hanging.
Yeah, b7 is on. Might be possible for white actually.
Scared. Queen c8. Can you take? Maybe you can. Not sure there are any threats here. Queen c8 might be pushing it a bit.
Taking that pawn in the middle just reminds me of the Prague Giri game from the Grunfeld, with this fantastic move Queen c1, allowing Giri to take the pawn on e4. I had a look at that with the help of a cloud engine. And Queen c1 still wasn't the first choice, but it was close. Of course,
that's what you want, like the third choice that keeps the balance but asks questions. That's the sweet spot, right?
That was the sweet spot. It was like the second choice, but it still thought it was. Of course, it thinks it's equal. But it's incredibly deep. Some of the tricks, playing very subtle rook b1 at some moment to trap the black queen on the other side of the board. I mean, it's just fantastic. But yeah, even looking at it with the cloud engine, it's obviously one very powerful indeed. It still wasn't completely clear what the idea is. One had to sort of work the engine well to discover the ideas. So it was very impressive, actually.
Yeah, serious work obviously being done there in Team Pragnananda. Rook b1 by Ding. Also an indicator he's not exactly thrilled with his position and knowing what to do. But as we've praised him before, he's excellent at damage control. He might be slightly worse, but usually he doesn't let it drift to a position where he's just much worse without any counter chances. So Pragnananda still has a lot of work ahead of him. Nodding.
Yeah, and the clock times all very even, 5 minutes each, and we're only on move 18. So this one looking very tight indeed.
Prague is spending a lot of time. He has a nice position, but moves don't come easy to him either here. It's so hard though, proper clock management, because yeah, if that extra 30 seconds guarantees that you make a good move that gives you a great position, it's worth it. So it's there's never a correct way to do it. It's just a very inexact science. In general, you should make a move though.
Wise words.
Move something.
Just move it. Yeah, and he's just burned a minute. In that time, we were prattling away.
Yeah. Bishop e6. Also very sensible, increasing control over these light squares. Maybe opening up some knight d5 if he ever wants to. Because at knight on b6, as we've learned from the great Tartakova, it's always misplaced. It had, well, it didn't have to, but it went there earlier. But it's not uncommon that it just returns to d5 at some point.
Okay, I keep wanting to develop white's queen, but Ding so far not keen. He played queen c1. It still doesn't want to play my queen c2. Yeah, he's protecting that one. Okay, I'm still confused. I mean, presumably on queen c2, he's worried about the knight dipping back to c6 and into d4. But I mean, there were ways around that. But okay, queen c1 is on the board. Interesting.
Less impressive than Pragnanda's queen c1 against Giri.
Yeah.
Knight c6. Yeah, black is just very, very comfortable here. Structure after this ba5 is clearly not in white's favor.
Yeah. Healthy pawn structure. Remember, this is something that we were never, at least I was never advised to look for out of an opening. Everyone said, okay, you get castle quickly, you bring your pieces out, you try to control the center. Okay, these are the big three. But no one ever said you should look for a healthy pawn structure out of the opening. Maybe they did in German circles, but certainly not in English ones.
That explains a lot.
I think it does.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's not, I mean, occupying the center might imply it a bit, but it's not something that's mentioned very specifically, especially when starting out. It makes life so much easier if your pawns are connected and so on.
Yeah, really.
Rook to d1 played. Ding doesn't have a lot of space to operate here. He's dreaming of bringing the bishop to c2, but that won't be easy. Prag, on the other hand, is down to 2 minutes.
Okay, so we want to play the knight to d4, but b7 is hanging.
Yep.
At the moment. This is irritating. So what can we do about that?
Rook eb8 seems to be pushing it.
Maybe, and unfortunately rook a7 is met by knight b5.
He's going rook a5. That looks like a nice move. That might also prepare knight d4, because now if it takes pawn to c6.
Well, maybe he's just preparing to double on the a file.
It's just a very nice multi-purpose move. I really like it. Covers the b5 square, prepares rook a8, knight d4. Ding jumps into action. Knight c4. Weakening his pawn structure further, but he needs some activity. Takes, knight d5. At least he has a square.
He does. Not a bad square.
No. Very.
Rook c5. Okay, at least he's played these moves very quickly, and a rook c5 is a nice move.
Any threats though? Does white have time? Maybe knight a5.
Knight a5.
I was wondering about time for a4.
Knight a5 looks like a threat to me, and yeah, then the c pawn. So what do we do about this? I guess the knight can drop back to e3 if, well, then the bishop comes into the game on e6. So yeah, I like rook c5.
Yeah, so hard to activate these silly pieces. Bishop a1 comes to mind, so the rook has some more sight. With knight a5, I don't know, might still be an issue. Something like this, trying to mix it, but maybe I'm just giving up all of Ding's pawns.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Queen b1.
Might backfire very badly.
Well, I mean, I think is it just not possible to play b6 in that position and just keep everything completely solid? Or have I overlooked a trick?
I was hoping I could take. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, maybe. Bishop f5 and then queen a1.
Queen a1.
Yeah, okay. That might be an idea. Bishop g4, how's that?
Don't know. Could get messy, couldn't it?
I think we're there already.
Yeah. Bishop c7, or who knows what's going on.
Yeah, okay, it's getting tricky.
Yeah.
It needs careful thought. Okay, so bishop a1, you're thinking. Let's go back there. That's interesting.
Knight a5 looks very consistent.
Yeah, of course, after knight a5, rook b5, one doesn't have to take. In fact...
but Ding plays a4. He's not having any of this.
Okay, so what happens?
What does he want?
Yeah.
Knight a5 anyway. Bishop a3, maybe he wants... Or he wants to take anyway, similar to my line, just starting with this. Is that possible? Or bishop d5 picks up stuff? Yeah, bishop d5 works. I don't know. What's the trick, Mr. Ding?
We'll have something. Knight a5 played. Okay, bishop a3 played.
Here we go. Rook c4.
Okay, does he just want to play rook c4, queen b2? Does that do anything? a4 is on prise. Okay, this is very confusing.
At least some activity, no? Bishop f8, and the king would have to recapture e5 he's looking at. It's the usual. There's nothing free against Ding. Even when he's under pressure, you're not getting it for free. He's giving the pawn, asking questions. But what is he thinking about now? Or are we missing some tricks? Queen b2 looks forced, so I'm confused.
There's also
queen e3.
I don't know if that makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there is a choice. Yeah, queen e3.
But it's a whole pawn. I mean, you don't have to grab a4 if that looks a bit iffy. I mean, maybe we exchange on a3 and then play something solid. I don't. Is it too late for something?
Careful.
Yeah, true.
Good. And now feels like white has just enough activity to ask questions.
Maybe. I mean, I wonder if we compromise and just play bishop d5 and rook d4, and just try to nurse that extra pawn, or is f7 and b7? That's not great actually.
Yeah,
that's
even takes and queen c5 looks like.
Yeah, but I think queen f3 directly is an issue.
Even better, yeah.
No, okay, so yeah. So Ding is basically saying, I've got some activity and this is tricky to control. And we can see that because Prague has dipped under a minute. Oof. Now it's getting very tight.
We'll see how Prague's fatigue levels are, because now it's calculation time. Knight c6, is that an option? Okay, he does take. Queen takes. This is a threat. Knight c6 still looks legal.
It does, but I'm just wondering whether the rook could be in trouble on c4. Do you play a move like e3 afterwards?
Yes.
To rule out rook d4, and then even moves like bishop f1, or I don't know, this rook. I mean,
it is a bit clumsy. I don't know if we can afford like b6, rook c5.
But maybe you trade on the c file then and just say, b6, rook c1, and say there are some weaknesses there.
There are some weaknesses, yeah. Yeah, not straightforward at all. He played knight c6. e3 does look very logical. Also, just stopping knight d4 in case, or rook d4.
Okay, let's see. This is tricky.
e3 played. Pawn to e4. I was wondering about this.
Okay.
After bishop f1, I wasn't sure what he wants, but maybe the rook just doesn't get trapped yet. Can go to c2.
What, so queen b3, it goes back to c5? Okay. don't have to play bishop f1, of course. If
No, for sure.
I mean, feels like white should have something here to keep the trickery going, and just a bit of pressure. Oh, he's played bishop f1. Okay, let's see. Prague now down to 30 seconds.
Rook c2 played, hanging in there. The good news is now is some activity, which is nice in time trouble. You at least have some active moves to think about.
Yeah, very much so.
Ding, catching up on the clock.
Yeah, it's nice to have knight e5 in the air, definitely, or bishop g4 or something.
Yep. No, it feels, I don't know what how the position is, but it feels like it got back to easier for black to play, which with little time is tremendously useful. Dingo's knight b4, trying to at least stop that knight from coming here. Takes. Guess you spend a move on the b pawn.
If only he could plant the queen over to the king side in one swift movement.
Yeah, you can try. Takes 2 moves, but yeah, here he comes, bishop g4. Rook c1. At least black is firmly out of trouble. Still a pawn up, after all. The white king is constantly a little vulnerable. So only black can be better, I would say. a5 is a nice move, though, just fixing these pawns.
I'm trying to work out whether h4 now looks like it's a weakness or whether white needs to have it anyway.
Oh, you probably want it, right, to go king
want
h2. Yeah. Rook d8.
So what's happening? Oh, okay, interesting. You're just getting rid of that. Yeah.
Saying he's active enough, even a pawn down, with e4 being weak, b7, c7, to not be in too much trouble. I could see this ending peacefully with some perpetual around here, but let's see. Prague rightfully wants to keep it going.
Yeah, and that's interesting that he just leaves the bishop on f3. So he's not worried about losing a pawn on f3. He wants to keep some tension. But what happens if you taking queen f4 exactly?
I don't know. Maybe he goes after this guy. Some rook d5.
Yeah, a6. Throw in a6. See what happens. Takes. How do we assess that one?
Should be a draw, but I'd take the extra pawn for now.
He's gone rook b1 instead.
Still rook d5. How's the rook ending? Or am I blundering rook d1? No, not yet. Yeah. Barely, but no.
You can do it actually.
Yeah, it's been played. Takes rook a5. Usually it should be a draw. Yeah, rook c7. So potential takes on g4 to free the king.
Yeah, not quite yet, because then the rook will appear on the 4th rank. But yeah, it's on the cards. And at the moment, we should say that check on a1, h2, rook a2, and the king just goes back, I think.
No, even here I was thinking you go g4.
Yep, could be.
Should hold. But yeah, he started with rook c5. There comes g4.
No need to commit yet. Yeah, and now the king comes to g3.
Yeah. Bishop g4, bishop e4, and c6 is falling. No, as usual, Ding, he can get in some trouble, but his control tends to be good. Rook c4 is a nice move, stopping bishop f3, followed by king h2. And if king h2 directly, then bishop g4. I missed that. Maybe he's not out of the woods yet.
That's tricky. That's really tricky.
Yep.
That's a nice, really nice idea, actually.
What do you do? G5, maybe? Yep, G5 played. Takes and back, or G6 to fix it. Yeah, he goes back.
Ooh, nice. Come on, Prague.
Still drawish, I'm afraid, but he's putting pressure. Rook g5, rook c6. Hang on.
Hang on.
Check, takes, king g3, rook f1. How does white hold this?
With difficulty, I would say.
Maybe he doesn't.
Yeah. Wow. Come on, Prague.
There's also g5 here. Ooh, this is close, or maybe it's too late to be close. Like the engine already gives what looks like a winning advantage for black. It looked like it disliked rook c6. Prague. Okay, let's see. He was playing king h7. Which once again feels somewhat.
Well, he wants to deliver checkmate.
That's fair. Rook c4. Ding probably doesn't want to get checkmated.
No.
Prepares g5, rook g4. And now here's king g3. Rook f4, even though then f6, I would guess the pawn ending is lost. That is a guess, but I would guess a fair one. How do you hold this? Maybe just by doing nothing, saying you can't make progress? Weird situation. Usually 3 versus 1 would just win, but here black is a bit stuck with the rook.
Yeah, but you'd imagine it's winning. I mean, if the king sort of and slowly comes forward with the pawns, should be good enough, one would have thought. I mean, eventually can we aim for pawn on f5, pawn on g4?
Yeah, if that happens,
then it must
too
be
late.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hypnotized by the engine bar, which seems to indicate still a draw, but I also don't see any obvious ways to do it. Maybe it's just some strange positional thing where black can't make progress so easily. You go rook a4. Yeah, he's played rook a4. It's not so easy to advance. G6.
Well, we'll do it softly.
Yeah. I guess we just wait, yeah? Rook a6 or rook a7. Rook a6.
Yeah, exactly. Nice position to play with the increment.
Oh, king g4. He moves the king. Allowing king f6. Now the computer says it's gone. Just because I'm curious,
okay,
what do you think here, Mr. Computer? G6, rook a7, king g7. Says rook e7 and waiting. And there's no way to make progress. Very odd.
One would want to test that in practice.
Yeah.
Okay, so where have we got to?
Back to equal, according to the merciless computer. It said g5 was the one the one move to win here.
Okay, that's pretty hard to divine.
I don't get it. I guess the point is if the king goes back. It's way too complex for me. I was gonna say I would guess the point is g4, but no, then king takes g4. King e6, and somehow white lost coordination. It's too tough for me. Sorry, computer. You are too wise. But apparently it's also too tough for the players who we can see the engine bar jumping after every move. My general theory is that usually the stronger side wins this. In rapid, at least, it seems so much harder to defend than to try stuff.
Okay, I mean, what if we just play directly g5 here?
He's going f5.
F5, okay.
Also looks good.
So
we're close to your setup. Rook a6, king e5. Ah, that's smart. Rook g6 as rook g1, so you can't take, and we're still on for g5, g4, or king e4. Okay, this looks over now.
Yeah, king e4 is a serious threat now. So do you play rook a4 but g5 anyway? Check.
Looks like resigns, frankly. G5.
Lots of checks.
Just can't be stopped. No. Yeah, we pick up the pawn if there are too many checks.
Pick up the pawn, and the king can always run back to safety.
Yeah.
On the h file. Ooh. Okay, Prag looks like he's done it. Fantastic. Yeah, you can see Ding.
Ding knows it's over.
Yeah.
Oof.
Ticking down.
That's amazing. Can't keep Prag down. Up 1-0, white game, and Prag just wins it.
Fantastic. I'm absolutely delighted. We have a match on our hands. It is now 1-1. Amazing stuff.
Let me just for my mental piece. Okay, we have the scores. I just want to see what the difference is here. He played king g3, and then after f5, it's over, which looks understandable. Now black just has his plan g5, g4, and the king comes. The rook moves. But if white just waits, apparently there's nothing to do here. I'm trying to understand why. If f5 now, check. Okay, now the king can't pass. So maybe it was important to have the king here. Here, here. It's just specific stuff that holds position. Very confusing. But the king needed to be here to restrict king f6, king e5, and or g5. And after king g3, f5 was too late. If the king returns, now there's tactics. g5, and if the king goes too far away, then this pawn apparently queens. Oof. Rook end games are tough.
Very tough. I want to highlight a star move from Prag just before we got to the rook and pawn, or in the rook and pawn end game. 40 rook c4, I think it was.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. I thought it was over, frankly, and the draw, because takes, and king comes here. Rook c4 kept it going and asked fresh questions.
Very cool move, because king h2 can be met by bishop takes g4.
Yeah,
that's the point. And if the bishops were exchanged, then the pawns were just too vulnerable on the fourth rank. Well, at least seems like that. But
G5, very much so. G5 seemed okay. Here, G6, which is a nice touch. You can't go rook G5 because of checkmate. And after FG, we're still 2 pawns down, but white is active enough to hold.
Okay, so G6
this looks very believable.
Yeah, G6 was the move. I'm guessing that Ding probably just overlooked, you know, that this pawn was on prise or something, or, you know, overlooked rook G2. Don't know. Otherwise, you'd think he'd find a move like G6.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure what went wrong here, because this looks borderline lost, even though the computer holds it miraculously. It's not a position you go for, thinking, okay, this should be a draw. Anyway, kudos to Pragnananda, who, yeah, shows his fighting prowess here as well. Like with his schedule of the day and then being down 1-0 to Ding, to play such a game and beat Ding, the world number 2 with the black pieces.
Very impressive. So it's 1-1. Remember, it's best of 4 games in this first day on this first set. So we are guaranteed 2 more games today. So we'll rejoin you in around about 10 minutes for game 3.
Hello and welcome to the sneak peek video on the lifetime repertoires, the Neidorf Sicilian. In this video, I'm going to show you my latest course, which is a complete repertoire against 1e4 with the Neidorf Sicilian defense. Why the Neidorf? Well, it is one of the, if not the best opening you can play against 1e4. It is both very correct, very sound, also very aggressive, gives you plenty of opportunities to play for a win. And the only problem is that you need to study quite a bit of theory. But for that, there is this course. Isn't it wonderful? Let's look into it. There are here 27 chapters. The whole course is 1,000, close to 1,000 trainable lines, and the length is around 24 hours. So you can basically binge watch the course in just 24 hours if that's your priority. But realistically, I guess you need a couple of days and and you're done. More importantly, there is the quick starter guide. That is a short summary of all you have to know to start, and that is barely over an hour. I would add to that a couple of chapters, especially against the bishop e3 line, which would also be another hour. And I think within a couple of hours, you are ready to start your Neidorf journey. But then, of course, check out all the chapters. There's lots of detail there. When you play the Neidorf, you are quite invincible. It's a very big theoretical battlefield. You can vary within it. You can deviate, always improve, always on the analysis. And so, yeah, Neidorf, I think, is a little too rich. So I don't really feel targeted there. And I think that's also a good reason why you should be playing the Neidorf. So yes, alternatives, bishop e7, bishop e6, for example, move with a bad reputation, but I give some options. Even within the alternatives, there are sometimes alternatives, which is quite cool. Also, against some lesser known options, for example, against 6 rook g1, I also give alternatives, because in rook g1, for example, in particular, there is the system with e5, knight b3, bishop e6, which is the main line, and that main line equalizes but leads to an endgame, equal endgame. And of course, I know my my Neidorf boys and girls, they want a sharp play, and next to this main line, I decided not to be lazy and also recommend another line. For example, the in this case it's the h5 variation here, which is a lot more fighting, can lead to much sharper positions, like this one, typical Neidorf here. We've got opposite castles incoming, very sharp positions. So yeah, lots of options, and still, despite all that, the sides became quite manageable, so I'm very happy with that. Also, of course, sidelines are well covered. Bishop b5 check, you know, if you don't have a chapter on bishop b5 check, then I don't think you can claim to have a Neidorf repertoire, because bishop b5 check is such an integral part of the Neidorf. A lot of trainable lines, a lot of memorization, and a lot of my variations are more fine-tuned for a top-level chess. But here I'm going for much more playable, much more flexible positions, where there is a lot of room for you know, a lot of room for creativity, much more flexibility there. So yeah, I think a good repertoire will have a fun community. I'm sure lots of you will ask me a bunch of questions, and yeah, I'm very happy with what I've done. I believe there is no need, when you have a course like that, there is no need to compromise on anything. The lines are all sound, correct, well tested with the strongest engines, and also fitted for the for your regular chess fan. So yeah, I think this should be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to hear your feedback, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy the course. So thank you for watching the sneak peek, and get your course. Also enjoy, of course, the short and sweet. If you're doubting, that's also going to be a nice little free course for you. But I would like to say, of course, if you enjoy it, and you should definitely check out the actual course, the lifetime repertoires, and yeah, I hope you'll find it worthwhile and you will enjoy it as well. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.
It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts. Chessable. Take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Hi there, it's me, John Chess, inventor of chess. And are you sick of sucking at chess? Well, lucky for you, I have also invented aim chess. Look at this chess puzzle. Did you solve it? Of course not, that's because you're not using Aim Chess. Aim Chess is a digital chess trainer that helps you improve by creating unique lessons based on your recent games. Just link your chess.com, Chess, or Chess24 account and feel that brain wrinkle. Yeah, see, you shouldn't have blundered your queen just there. Now I know! Thanks, Aim Chess. Now all that's left to figure out is how that funny horse moves. They even got acquired by that one chess player other than Hikaru, so you know it's good. Hi, it's me, that guy I just mentioned, and I am the best chess man in the world. But thanks to Aim Chess, I also have a girlfriend now as well. This could be you! Personalized training, game reports and analysis disease, study plans, thick, luscious hair, intuition builder, all this and more available on Aim Chess.
Hello?
Courtney, did you know that Aim Chess users improve their ratings 43% faster than average?
What?
So what are you waiting for? Join Aim Chess today. Links will be somewhere, probably. I don't know, I just made the video. Aim Chess. Sign up now and get 50k silver and 2 free months off your VPN. Now that's what I call a Queen's Gambit. That's so fucking dumb. Aim Chess. For when you aim to chess. That's their slogan. That's what they say. Ready, aim, chess. That's another. Look, just sign up for Aim Chess, okay? Just, come on, literally, why not? Alright, just stop being a dick for like 5 seconds and just go, alright? Jesus Christ.
Okay, so let's send a challenge.
Here is challenging. Nice graphics, easy to see. Oh, what are you thinking about? You're looking how it can be the most painful?
Exactly. Okay, fine.
So that I give up a phone. He wants to be even rude.
Welcome everybody.
My name is Jan Nepomniachtchi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judith Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Welcome back, everyone. We've had 2 games so far. It's 1-1. Fantastic. We've had 2 decisive results. Ding Liren won the first game very convincingly. Prag hit back very nicely in game 2. So we are guaranteed 2 more games today. And I'm delighted that Prag turned things around. And so we've got a proper contest on our hands. Absolutely fantastic. I should mention just before we get into the game, which should be starting in just a couple of minutes, this is the Chessable Masters. So Chessable is the sponsors of this tournament, and it's a fantastic online learning platform. Do check out the courses there. There are lots of courses on sale at the moment, including Jan's course for a repertoire for black against 1e4. e4, e5, super solid, super reliable, and that is a super course. And if you want to just go a little bit more left field, then there is my course on the Kalashnikov Sicilian, which actually I think is a pretty reliable opening choice for black. 1e4, c5, and you get an early e5 in. So do check out those courses. They're on sale, but there are lots of other courses on sale as well. And we ought to thank also our partners, Airthings, who monitor air quality. And there we go, Jan demonstrating that little device beautifully there. And also do check out chesschamps.io, where you can actually bid in an auction for the NFT trophy of the event. Do check that out, chesschamps.io. So, Jan, looks like Ding has been chastened somewhat by that defeat. How will he play this one? It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but the opening dominates so much of the play, and there currently the ball seems to be in Pragnananda's court. Ding got a good position in the first game. I would guess he just sticks to the line he played there and sees if Pragnananda tries to improve, or if we see something entirely different. But no reason to switch it up with black. Looks like Ding's gone.
He's had enough.
Maybe that fly went to the other room.
I was going to say, too many flies around. Yeah. He's back.
There he is. I think, is the same room he's usually in? Once he had the window open and we got a peek that he's actually in a high building and you could look outside the window.
Ooh.
But I'm not sure where he is now.
That's quite exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I did look up where he's from. I think he's in Wenzhou.
Right. That's the city. I can
on the East Coast.
So he's more of a biggie than a Tupac guy.
There you go. You talked about your old school rap. There we go. You see, it's means nothing to me, but I get the illusion.
Here we go. Pragnananda changes openings. He goes 3 knight f3, d5, knight c3, opposed to the 3 knight c3 we've seen the other game, although of course could lead to the same position. And Ding is playing the good old semi-Slav. Probably studied Sam Shanklin's course. But after bishop g5, he goes knight bd7, which I never liked. I'm more team h6 or dc4. Because knight bd7, after a3, they typically play queen a5, this Cambridge Springs, which I was never a big fan of. So I'm curious if that's what Ding wants, or if he's just saying, all right, if you go e3, I'll play h6, bishop e7, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, we might transpose back just to a... Oh, no, he's gone for the Cambridge.
Goes.
Yeah.
Such a risky line.
Yeah. You could also, you can just play bishop e7 and just go into an orthodox Queen's Gambit.
Although this is also what Sam gives, so it's still consistent with the Shanklin course. The two main moves here are cd. And then after knight d5, you play either rook c1 or queen d2, or the old-fashioned knight to d2, controlling this square. Pragnananda must have something up his sleeve. Here you go, cd5, queen d2.
Always felt that if you don't mind slightly cramped positions, those positions after knight d2 where black gets the 2 bishops, they're kind of playable for black. I always thought that wasn't absolutely critical. for black.
It's not the end.
No. But yeah, I mean, I've always thought that this is basically the way for white to play against this.
Yeah, let's see what they do. Bishop b4 is the most common move here after queen d2. Kasparov famously played knight 7 b6 versus Karpov way back when Karpov went for knight takes d5, which wasn't very challenging. But knight b6, white has better moves. So this is still mainline territory. Bishop b4, rook c1. And let's see what they do. I always mix up stuff here. Black goes b6 or h6 first. h6 played, bishop h4. And I guess the point is if castles, white plays a3 and is happy to sacrifice this pawn. Let's see what Ding does. Taking a moment here. But yeah, I think the main line is castles. Now that I think about it, then a3, probably e4, knight f6 is nothing. a3 takes here, takes, and grabbing this pawn is risky, so usually I think they try b6, bishop a6. Is that the line?
I'm very hazy on this.
Yeah, my memory is also not great. There's some endgames here. Like, not sure if it's with castles or without.
You don't go for an early c5. Is that nonsense? I can never remember these lines.
Guess it's
never played
risky.
them.
Yeah, me neither, as I said. Never trusted them fully, but I do trust Ding.
Maybe
he
Ding
seems to have forgotten too.
Maybe Ding never played them. Maybe this is the problem.
Come on, Ding. Plays b6, yeah, I think. Maybe they try to skip castling here after a3 takes. Could this be a move? Some stuff like this looks vaguely familiar. No, knight e7 maybe to jump here. Or c5.
Yes, and do they go f3 and the bishop drops back and then
go
maybe? Don't know. It's all very vague in my mind, I'm afraid.
I hear you. What is Cambridge Springs? Was that a chess tournament in Cambridge? Where's that name from?
It was a chess tournament in the States.
Ah, it's another Cambridge.
It was Cambridge Springs was the place.
Ah, right.
And I think there comes some curious story, wasn't it? Was it sponsored by some magnate in Cambridge Springs who I think wanted to attract people there, and was there not much there, but some railway line was built there, and there was I don't know. I'm kind of confusing things. Basically, he just wanted to get people there on his railway line. I don't know.
I know nothing
But anyway,
about it.
It's somewhere in the States, and that's where the opening was first discussed, I believe. But yeah, I need to gen up on my chess history there.
Not sure.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna reach for my library here.
Wow.
Here we go.
Books.
There we go. Just put that one out there. That's gonna have it. It's actually the Oxford Companion to Chess by David Hooper and Ken Wilde. It's actually pretty reliable.
Cambridge Springs is in Pennsylvania.
There we go. Pennsylvania 65000.
Looks like both players not too familiar with the Cambridge Springs either. Taking a lot of time here. I've seen a3, but he goes bishop d3, which looks natural enough as well. Just trying to develop some pieces. I would guess black plays c5 at some point.
I'm afraid all it has is introduced by Lasker in a game against Albert Beauregard Hodges in 1892. This defense was used several times during the tournament held in 1904 at Cambridge Springs, which is a spa in Pennsylvania.
Beautiful.
There we are. I think that's about as much as I knew, but I thought there was some little story about, yeah, basically the sponsor wanting to attract business, get people to the hotel, but there really wasn't much there at all. But if chat knows better, knows more details, then we welcome that.
Chat does have internet.
Oh.
But yeah, I got nothing. Nothing springs to mind. Short castles. Why not e4 here?
Well, I suppose you take on c3 and play bishop a3.
Yeah. Isn't this nice for white? Somewhere.
Yeah. Wasn't there some game between Carlsen and
Gelfand? Yeah, there was a different line. But yeah, there
was
was this line, takes, bishop a3. It's very similar. Rook c2, b6, and now the bishop goes somewhere. But yeah, could almost transpose.
But e4 not on the board.
Nope.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, goes to take here first, but I'm not sure that changes much.
It's interesting. I mean, this is the second time that Ding with black has played a very classical opening, slightly old-fashioned in this case, and perhaps trying to catch out Prague. If I think of the kind of the original version of Ding, he grew up playing the King's Indian, and had some fantastic games with it. But he's obviously thought, okay, against Prague, just keep things nice and calm. Classical chess is what we want.
No, he had some great results. They were about to rename it to the Ding's Indian, but then he stopped and started playing. Yeah, a lot of semi-Slav, which early the going was a bit rough for him. He got caught out sometimes in these very sharp lines, these anti-Moscow gambits. And since then, yeah, he's just become a universal top player. We've seen him play a lot of Ragozin recently. I guess he's just trying to stay a little flexible, avoids Prague's preparation, which we've seen to be impressive, for example, against Giri. But it doesn't look like either player is very familiar with the details here, since they're both taking quite a bit of time. Pawn to e4 on the board.
Well, I like white center. I mean, don't know what's not to like, really.
Yeah, I know where this rook goes. Maybe to d1. I guess you go c5 and you try to get something similar to these semi-Tarrasch positions, which Ding has also played. But of course, the pieces are on slightly odd squares for it with the bishop on a3.
Yeah, sometimes you see white just play e5 there.
Yep.
Sort of control the knight on d7, but not necessary. And of course, just pushing d5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ding, it's curious the way he's kind of thinking about this. I mean, what's he thinking about instead? Knight f6.
Could go back, but
looks pretty odd.
Yeah, not sure how bad it is. Doesn't look great. Doesn't look thrilled.
No.
What else is there? Is he thinking about, I don't know, some takes and knight f4? Also looks a bit random, but just wondering what he could be burning this time on.
Yeah. I mean, it all feels just a bit more comfortable for white in all these variations. If you can't challenge the center, then fine.
Maybe he's trying to make something like this work. I don't know. But it feels slightly artificial, all of it.
Clock time's evening up. They've only played 13 moves, and we're already 11 minutes against 10 minutes. Who knows? Perhaps he's suddenly thinking, well, if he takes on c3, bishop a3, and yeah, rook d1.
Yes. I don't fully understand these structures. Everything looks a bit better for white to me. Like maybe you can think about this, but it's also not exactly threatening. Don't play the Cambridge Springs thing. It's not your cup of tea.
No.
Maybe he thinks if he thinks for long enough, Pragnanda will just fall asleep. It is late, long day. But he does take on c3. Bishop a3. Rook should go somewhere. Yeah, it goes to d1.
Okay, and now black has to make the big decision. How exactly? Well, he's
dodging it.
He's dodging the decision, exactly. Rook e8. He's just hanging, hesitating for a moment.
Yeah. I guess it's a standard move also preparing for this e5 idea you mentioned, so that some piece can go back here to defend.
That's true. Yeah.
But it's a little slow.
Yeah. And in case, well, yeah, you still might go for c5, and then you're sort of preparing the e file will open. So yeah, maybe.
Both players on somewhat unfamiliar territory. But rook e1, how bad can it be? Pragnanda makes a natural move. Once again, we'll see if Ding commits.
Well, now,
or if he plays some bishop f8.
Now white has a sort of threat to play the bishop on d3 back to b1. And then, you know, load up on the diagonal. So I imagine Ding is going to have to take on d3 now.
We'll find out. It's annoying. I'm not sure if this bishop is well placed, but it annoyingly covers this square where you would like another black rook.
But again, some hesitation from Ding. Seems strange.
What else is there? c5 directly could be, but then yeah. First of all, your idea comes into play, and secondly, I don't know if black should be too thrilled about something like this. Take some d5, and the pieces look somewhat odd yet again.
Well,
so he does take.
Okay.
Takes, and now what do you do? I'd go all the way back because his bishop. It's freaking me out a bit on a3. But Ding continues making half useful waiting moves, daring Prag to commit to e5. Which looks very natural. With a knight on d7, you have potential jumps.
Yeah, but as you say, the knight on d7 will probably just fall back to f8, which is bit, and then yeah,
Isn't white in good shape here? Like I'll bring the knight around.
Yeah, knight g6. What's going on there?
Nothing particular. Just wanna jump.
Don't know.
I was wondering if after e5, black can and should try to do something quickly with c5. And if knight d2
d5?
to take. Yeah,
But instead,
d5.
can you go d5 instead?
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Or c4, queen e4,
Okay.
knight c5. What's going on there? Could you take the pawn? Maybe not. Take the pawn, knight a4 is possible.
Gets messy.
Certainly. Yeah.
Looks like black has some play.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying for white that bishop, okay, it can be extremely useful covering d8, but it can't come back to the other side of the board as well. But you wanted to play knight d2 there.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if white is in time here. Takes, and some annoying move like rook c3. At the very least, I don't get here so easily. Looked like some counterplay. Pragnanda taking his time. e5, of course, is a committal decision after all. Could also play, I don't know, knight d2 directly. Just keeping his options open.
And what about if white goes for the full press and plays c4?
I wasn't sure
play
strategically
e5?
if e5 bothers.
Yeah. Okay, if I move on d5.
Yeah, it's a strange situation. Don't know. Especially on h4 looks a bit funny if black gets f6.
But then again,
of course,
f6 looks a bit funny.
yeah. Oh no.
It's all very delicate.
Yeah.
Committal pawn moves, which structure is good, which is bad, don't know. Hard to say.
Deceptively complicated.
Yeah.
It's usually what they say about basketball players when they're not athletic. They say he's deceptively athletic. c8.
Basketball, not my thing. You're a follower, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm just thinking how I can kill the time today till 2:30 a.m. when the pivotal game 5 between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat starts. But it's not great times for European viewers. Rook c8. What's your sports? You're a football guy, yeah?
Yeah, I enjoy football, but I enjoy lots of sports. I enjoy tennis. I like cricket. I like rugby as well.
Wow.
But it's just I quite often go to rugby matches here because I live in a part of the world where actually the national stadium, rugby stadium, is actually very nearby to me, and that has a capacity of, I think it's 81,000. I mean, it's a big stadium, and for the international matches, it is really absolutely rocking. It's fantastic.
Wow, there's 80,000 people going to a rugby match?
81,000.
I had no idea it was that big. Yeah.
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely huge, yeah.
h3 played. Computer apparently wanted g4, but that's not happening. h3 and b5. b5. I kind of like it stops this knight d2, knight c4 for good and gives maybe c5, c4 a little more bite. Because now there's also the plan we've seen in the last game, c5, d5, c4, b4, just run on the queen side. And rook e2, Pragnanda playing very defensively, like h3, rook e2. This doesn't feel in the spirit. Can't black go c5 now? Rook e2 even feels a bit clumsy. It's taking squares away from
true.
the other pieces.
I mean,
I guess he wants to stop bishop b2, but like doesn't seem like a priority.
I mean, I assume that white has to play d5 here. Because if
c4. Oh no, I froze. I froze the board. c4 was too aggressive. I should have waited.
Okay.
Pawn never made it there.
Okay, we'll just reboot and we will be back with you very shortly. It's just a quick recap of the scores there. You can see we're into game 3 and it's 1-1, 2 decisive games so far. Remember, this is day 1 of the finals. They play 2 sets and this is the best of 4, the first day, the first set, and it's 1-1. So if it's 2-2, then there'll be no tiebreak on this first day, but we will just simply go into the second day with the first set drawn. But of course, if it's drawn again, then we will have a tiebreak after day 2. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I think we're back again, Jan.
Yeah. Queen a4 played by Ding. I struggle predicting any moves here, but I blame the players. Like h3, rook e2, rook de1. Pragnananda is, he's not sure what to do.
So is Ding simply looking to play knight b6 to c4 and sometimes even play, because that bishop on a3 will prevent one of the rooks. Having said that, the commentator's curse.
Yeah.
It removes itself from there. I was imagining some scenario where the knight hops into c4, it gets exchanged off, and then black might well be okay because if black occupies the b file there. But anyway, nothing like that is going to happen.
No, maybe Ding also is feeling that Pragnananda is a bit hesitant with all these moves, and he's trying not to commit to anything. Doesn't go c5, doesn't go knight b6. He's just saying, you don't seem to know what to do. I'll just make useful little moves and let you burn some more time, because Pragnananda is also playing slowly. Like, he took a lot of time for h3, rook e2, all these things.
Yeah.
Just classing it up. The problem is, after all these half moves, it's not like white has any obvious ways to improve his position. e5 is still there, but it feels worse than a couple moves ago. g4 doesn't seem like that's what he's angling for. So I'm a bit stuck too when it comes to suggestions for how white should play.
Yeah, Prag's been.
Oh,
there we are.
There comes the g pawn.
I was going to say, up till now, he's sort of played very respectfully. g4, not so much respect there. But anyway, he's stuck for a plan. So he thinks, okay, here we go. He's reverting to type, and he's trying to stir things up on the king side.
Okay, now maybe we get at least nature of the play that's more to his liking, where there will be more direct tactics. It does feel weakening though. c5, how does this go? c5 wants g5.
I was actually going to suggest, c5 looks entirely reasonable to me, but I was actually going to suggest instead of that, I wonder if black could play g6 here, with the simple idea that after g5, black will just close the position with h5, and then the pawn on g5 just looks very odd to me. Odd as in not very good.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'd be slightly worried, but maybe no need if this knight maneuver could be annoying.
Sure.
But it's also slow.
Yeah, maybe g6 is just a bit fussy. It depends how worried he is about g5 and whether this is going to stir up trouble. No,
Go c5.
e5 looks very sensible. So counterplay threatened. So yeah, d5. Otherwise, the c file will have opened, and
c4. He's such a one-trick pony. Every black game, c5, c4, push on the queen side, win. Must be nice. Looks excellent for black. Knight c5, knight d3. Hard to believe you get checkmated over here.
Well, I guess we should try. I mean, queen d4. Yeah, queen e3. Unfortunately, there's just a pin on the e file. So queen d4.
I'm not even sure if black wants to go e5 here or not. Just for my sake, if e5,
okay, queen d2
goes somewhere. I'm still obsessed with this f6 move.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
I know, it feels nice to me.
Okay, but bishop g3 and knight h4.
Jump.
Rook f1. Okay, that's pretty fast, I must admit. It's very fast.
This feels very sturdy. You need so many moves to threaten anything.
That's true. B4 is so quick.
Ding, on the other hand, doesn't need 18 preparatory, is that word? Moves. He just goes b4 directly without e5, f6, so knight c5, knight d3.
Preparatory. It's just it's a stress thing.
It is stressful to say.
Okay, so what about taking on e6? Oh, sorry, there's no rook on d1. I beg your pardon. Well, maybe we have to do it anyway.
Yeah, could be.
And then knight d4.
No, but all these half moves from earlier, now he pays the price for it. Like the pieces aren't even well placed, and he spent so much time. He does take knight d4, rook b6. Ding is in control. He's seen all this coming. Black king is safer. bc3 is there. b3 is there.
Suddenly you want to put the pawn back on g2. Actually, lots of weak squares, and the bishop on f8, perfectly placed.
It's beautiful bishop.
Just removed itself from any trouble. Covers e7, g7, h6. So no tricks there for white. Yeah, Ding looks good, and massive time advantage. 5-minute time advantage. Prag down to 2 minutes now.
And this whole Ding strategy really starting here of not committing to anything, letting Prag on every move calculate and try to find an idea with all these useful half moves, rook e8, rook c8, b5, queen a4, bishop f8, really paid off because he used this time much better than Pragnananda did. And when the going got tough, the black pieces were better placed for this. So interesting game by Ding.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, the double rooks on the e file, they haven't come to anything at all.
Nah.
Yeah.
Now queen d1 and a mission, there won't be any checkmate over there. Black is a choice, maybe b3, but the end game looks incredibly promising as well. Just take and maybe take. Nothing wrong with some knight move either. What about taking? I like pawns.
Do we try and pick it up? Do we play, I don't know, which rook over? Rook c2?
This on the board, like bc3.
Okay, well, one thing we can be absolutely certain of.
Rook c2 also played.
White is fighting for a draw here.
I think white might just be lost, frankly. Knight c5 hitting this pawn. If f3, knight a4 will come, and then rook b2.
Yeah, that's serious.
This looks gone, baby, gone.
So maybe rook e2 was inaccurate. I don't know if rook c1 was better.
The whole position was just sad already. He's trying to hang in there, but Ding now has a clean extra passed pawn. Don't know where he goes, back or knight g5.
Knight c5 looks pretty nice because rook c3, just knight a4 again.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it? 6.5 minutes against 2 minutes. So yeah, Ding, very pleasant cushion of time.
Chess saying that Pragnanam might lose his game without finding his mistake. No, but he will feel that all this h3, rook e2, rook de1 business wasn't the way to do it. That's where Ding, I think read the game beautifully.
He had to pick something positive, and whether it was e5 or c4, and then just make the best of it. But the maneuvering actually just allowed Ding to stabilize completely, and once b5 came, then black has made so many useful moves on the queen side, b5 and rook c8. Yeah.
Ding good at chess.
Is that the big conclusion for today?
That's the takeaway from today.
That's the takeaway.
Knight f6, weird move. Ding still good at chess though.
Well, maybe it just wants to bounce via d5 into f4. That just is another option.
Felt a bit on the wrong circuit after, I don't know, knight e2 or knight f5 somewhere. But of course, the extra pawn remains. Knight e2 played. Wouldn't the knight be nicer here or here?
Doesn't look bad.
Nope.
But let's think, how are we going to do this?
He's still in great shape. Rook b2? Or is this a concern? I would guess it's not, because bishop c5 comes so quickly.
Yeah, rook b2 just rolls on, doesn't it? Seems pretty good.
Getting ready. Or he starts with bishop c5 also. Very natural. I guess the rook should go here to keep contact to this e4 square. Like rook c3. Might be possible, but feels like bad things could happen.
Yeah, I think that's still possible for white actually.
Yeah, it wasn't over. He goes rook e5.
Okay, but now that pawn on c4 looks like it might run.
Yeah, I like the look of bishop a3 if I want. Here,
nice.
Here.
Yep, looks very, very nice.
Let's see if Ding agrees. Nope. Rook b2 now. Also, not a horrible looking move.
Yeah, maybe he wants to sit that bishop on b6, which looks like a nice square, solid, just anchoring everything there, and then the rook is going to help the c pawn to advance. Yeah, bishop b6 looks super solid.
Yeah, it's a nice anchor man. B6 there, like Ron Burgundy. Now it looks hopeless for white. I can't think of anything good to do. Knight c3. Can we just tackle this guy?
Yeah, or rook c2 first. Yeah, rook c2 maybe. Okay.
He's done it.
Well done.
Rook c1. What else?
Is it too early just to chop everything? Take on c3, take on a2.
Yeah, I was wondering. It's probably winning. It felt like there should be more in the position, but I also don't don't see it. 97 maybe, just to bring this knight back. But
he had the chance to do that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how he does it. Fantastic technician thing, usually. Extremely reliable, converting such positions. Also, just to be annoying, you could think about going back with the bishop and rook e3, bishop f4.
Ah,
but
bishop f4. That's sweet.
No, but he goes knight d7. Here comes the knight again. Rook e4.
Yeah, you can swing to b6 maybe.
Yeah. It is an uphill battle for Prague because this bishop on h4, as mentioned earlier, is not really contributing in the fight for the queen side either.
Yeah. And now under 30 seconds. So rook e4 played. On the board. 3.5 minutes against under 30 seconds. This is going to be tough.
I don't see a lot of positive outcomes here for Pragnanda. He's trying to hang in there. a4. It's just
rook b3.
So sad. Yeah.
h3's hanging potentially.
What does the body language say? Not much. Pragnanda obviously not happy. And Ding still focused. So how do you do this? Rook here.
It's kind of, I'd be tempted just to play
knight to b5.
Rook b3 and let white think about it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you jump and try to stir up some nonsense.
Yeah. a6.
I don't even know what to aim for.
Okay, so take on h3, bishop g3 is irritating.
Yeah, I thought this rook might be.
Yeah, fine. But in any case, it's nice to shift instead of taking there. Okay, so we can play, I don't know, rook a3, rook d3. I mean, those are all legal.
Yeah. Yeah, rook b3 on the board. He goes knight a2. Not a pretty square, is it? Bishop d2.
Whew.
Distance 4.
Distance 4. You love your distance 4.
It's the one thing I can teach people. Distance 4. Rook c2. And nothing wrong with pushing. Then rook b2 becomes a threat. Nah, it's over.
Yeah, it's going. Yes, you've highlighted those two minor pieces, and I think that is the thing.
Yep, rook d4 played. This seems to work. Rook d2, ct. It's just a bluff. Yep. And he shall resign.
Yeah, knight b4, a5, is that good enough? So
looks pretty good. Yeah. Resigns.
There we go.
It is.
So Ding takes the lead again. So he is 2-1 up and just needs a draw in the fourth game to clinch the first set. And he will have the white pieces, which helps a lot. So we will see that game in round about 12, 13 minutes, maybe. We'll take a short break, but do remember, do check out the Chessable courses, chessable.com, where there are some splendid courses, including Jan's E4, E5 course repertoire and my Kalashnikov, as well as two other courses called How Good Is Your Chess? But anyway, do check them out. And there are loads of courses on sale there. So do check those out in the meantime. But we'll be back in around about 12 minutes for game 4, which should decide the set.
Yeah, 3 black victories so far today. Let's see if Ding manages to score a draw with the white pieces. See you then.
It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts. Chessable. Take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Hi there, it's me, John Chess, inventor of chess. And are you sick of sucking at chess? Well, lucky for you, I have also invented aim chess. Look at this chess puzzle. Did you solve it? Of course not, that's because you're not using Aim Chess. Aim Chess is a digital chess trainer that helps you improve by creating unique lessons based on your recent games. Just link your chess.com, Chess, or Chess24 account and feel that brain wrinkle. Yeah, see, you shouldn't have blundered your queen just there. Now I know! Thanks, Aim Chess! Now all that's left to figure out is how that funny horse moves. They even got acquired by that one chess player other than Hikaru, so you know it's good. Hi, it's me, that guy I just mentioned, and I am the best chess man in the world. But thanks to Aim Chess, I also have a girlfriend now as well. This could be you! Personalized training, game reports and analysis disease, study plans, thick, luscious hair, intuition builder, all this and more available on Aim Chess.
Hello?
Courtney, did you know that Aim Chess users improve their ratings 43% faster than average?
What?
So what are you waiting for? Join Aim Chess today. Links will be somewhere, probably. I don't know, I just made the video. Aim Chess. Sign up now and get 50k silver and 2 free months off your VPN. Now that's what I call a Queen's Gambit. That's so fucking dumb. Aim Chess. For when you aim to chess. That's their slogan. It's what they say. Ready, aim, chess. That's another. It's... Look, just sign up for Aim Chess, okay? Just...
We're back again. Game 4. This will decide the set. Pragnananda needs to win to make it 2-all. Ding just needs a draw to win the set. Jan, I can't imagine Ding is going to repeat this very, very cautious English.
No, 1d4. Yeah, there we go. Just straight out main lines. Let's see if Pragnananda has the strength left in him to play Benoni, King's Indian, whatnot. If they play a regular line, shouldn't be too hard for Ding to steer the game towards a draw.
Ding always had a fantastic reputation just playing with g3 and bishop g2 against Queen's Indians, against Catalans. Didn't play it in the kind of the 1970s, 1980s style, but somehow it always managed to find some nice initiative.
Yeah,
so
he knows his stuff.
I'm guessing g3 he will go for if d5, but let's see.
Hard to predict. Knight c6. Here comes the attempt to mix it. The two knights tango. The problem is it's not very good, but you have to confuse the issue a bit. White is a choice between a3, just stopping any bishop b4, or what I like to do, just play knight c3. Black goes bishop b4, and you play a sort of inferior version of whatever Nimzo white chooses now, typically queen c2. Let's see how Ding handles it. Nothing particularly wrong with g3 either, of course, if that's what he wants to do. Then after bishop b4 check, we could transpose to some old Bogo Indian lines.
But isn't these Nimzo positions after knight c3, bishop e4, queen c2, I mean, they can get quite exciting, can't they? If black, goes for these d6 and e5 stuff, and
I have my ways to keep those boring. You go bishop d2, a3, take on e5, play e3, and it's hard to make too much happen there.
Right. Okay, that's yeah. Because if the position closes, then those positions can actually have some jeopardy in them. They can get quite interesting.
If white were to go d5, then it could spice up a little, but white is not forced to do that. But Ding goes a3. He's a principled guy. Now black is a choice between d5 or d6 or g6. Yeah, Pragnanda is trying to freestyle, understandably here. I guess d5 followed by e4 looks like the most ambitious way to play. The question is, does white feel ambitious? Nothing wrong with the e4 either, of course.
Okay, so we've just got some very weird King's Indian setup on the board.
Yeah, this is still sort of known. Castle. Now rook e8 is the move for whatever reason. Preparing e5, d5, knight d4. But it's not exactly winning for black either.
Okay, so this is a thing. I didn't realize.
Thing is strong, but I've seen this before, yeah.
Oh, yeah, did Magnus have one of these?
Looks like something Magnus might have played once, I don't know.
Yeah, it rings a bell, or had to face it.
Yeah, rook e8 is on the board. The bad news for black is I was going to say bishop e3, because now he wants to go e5, d5, knight d4. But if white only needs a draw in something like this, it's not too hard to obtain by swapping down, I would think. But he played rook e1. Maybe Ding less obsessed with forcing draws with white than me. But what's your idea, Ding? Did you miss d5, knight d4 as the point? I guess you could still play bishop e3. He goes de.
Ah, there we go. Surely this earns an invitation to the Chicken Chess Club.
Actually, a line that I've played a lot. I shouldn't give away all my big secrets. But is this line, castles, knight c6, and d takes e5, which is it's not such a bad line, actually. Really? Black doesn't know what he's doing. No, it's serious. And what they have is the same position with a3, rook e8, and rook e1 included. I like it. D takes e, you go bishop g5. And there's even some small questions to answer for black. No, that's not the way, Ding. Start with bishop g5. Okay, he needs a draw. He knows what he's doing. I guess knight takes looks normal, but then maybe knight d5 comes.
Yeah, 95. Wow.
Because rook takes bishop g5 looks fairly smooth.
But it's like you were mentioning yesterday when we had the tie break, and Prague sort of hesitated to exchange off lots of pieces, and just wasn't his thing. But Ding just goes for it straight away, basically.
Yeah, well, Ding is also a very aggressive player, but in German we have this expression: a good horse never jumps higher than it has to.
Yes, that's a lovely expression.
I'm not sure if that's true. So I guess knight takes, the good horse is jumping back here. Knight d5 and knight e6 seems the only way to keep the game going. Can't force a draw just yet. We'll try though. Knight g5 takes.
Yeah, we should mention that taking on e5 there is probably not the way for white to go after knight.
Yeah, I don't know if it's losing, but it's asking for some trouble.
It's asking for trouble. Yeah, it takes bishop e5, take on e6, or
knight d4 as well.
Yeah, knight d4 is true. Yeah, serious. Okay, so you want knight g5.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much though. I don't know. I didn't want queen d8. I want bishop g5 first. I think that's more challenging.
But can you just go super solid here and just play h3 and bishop e3?
Yeah. That might very well happen. h3, knight e6, bishop e3. But these positions, at least some play maybe remains. Although, of course, white is solid. Rook d1, c6. or c5, knight d4. But no, of course, black. He took with the rook. That surprises me. It's now bishop g5.
With a threat. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a little awkward to meet. Like you could give this pawn with, like they play bishop g4 in similar positions, takes, knight d5, king g7, takes, take here, in whatever order, but it's not like black's going to win.
But hang on, isn't white instead? I mean, obviously, I appreciate that taking on f6 is possible, but isn't white actually threatening knight d5 instead of taking on f6?
I do not know. Could very well be. It's not a thing in the other line, but here with rook e1 and included, maybe it is rook d6.
d5? Yeah.
I'm dropping material here.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Maybe bishop g4 just doesn't work then. Yeah, h6 costs another tempo.
Yep. Okay, I mean, it's hard to imagine taking the pawn that and bringing the knight back to d5. I mean, I don't see how white can ever be worse in those positions. I mean,
I really dislike rook takes d8. Like, you gotta take with the knight. Maybe can you take here? Nah, it also feels like too little. Nah, it's not enough. Yeah, not great.
Hard to be creative in that position.
94 even takes, huh? Yeah.
Well, okay, can you play rook takes in that position? Knight d4, knight takes, rook takes?
Just look bad, but I don't know if there's anything direct. Knight b5,
rook d7,
b3, yeah.
I mean, not that this is any bother for white, even if you just have to protect the e-pawn and just bring the bishop back to e3.
Yeah, bishop e3 directly is perfectly fine. I was just looking
yeah,
more.
Straight away, absolutely. Yeah.
There's also this move. Maybe
knight c2. What's happening?
Rook d1.
Oh, just rook d1. Sorry, yeah. Then rook e8. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, rook e8.
Is that? Yep, that is true.
But instead of that, if we just go back here, but even with the knight on c2, I mean, there's, we can come back to knight d5 stuff as well.
Yeah, I can do it directly. Too many options, and Prague, yeah, taking a moment here after this pin, but it might be too late to mix it.
Well, as you say, he might just have to play h6.
Yeah, it's
it's
a bad version.
It's a pretty safe.
Here, white even has time to play h3, just stopping this maneuver, then going back. You're not going to win many of these with black.
Yeah, and you could lose as well, actually.
Yeah, I think
not that that's an issue, really. Well, you know what I mean. So do you have to play rook e8?
Yeah, rook e8, knight d5. It's unpleasant. Then
yeah,
there's this. I've had many blitz games in these types of positions. They're not much fun for black. Bishop d3 or rook c1.
Yeah, true.
No, it's just bad. Rook f8, that exists. And if knight d5, try knight takes e4. But how tempted are you? Thing is, white can always switch back to normal play, like play h3. If you lose too many tempi, rook d1. Rough spot for Pragnanda.
Yeah, and he's burning time, 7.5 minutes now, a ding 14 minutes. So that's also not pleasant. Yeah, maybe rook f8 is the only way to sort of keep a little bit of juice in the position. Interesting. We should point out why rook f8 and the difference between rook f8 and rook e8.
Played rook d7. Similar ideas here. Yeah, the point is to avoid the knight fork. Rook d7 is legal. It's just ugly if white plays rook d1, let's say. Not so easy to coordinate these pieces. The bishop can always drop back if needed. b4 is there. I don't know, maybe even h3 here. Ask black for a move.
And if h6, you just drop the bishop back to e3.
Yeah. Black still needs a lot of untangling. Well, white has a bunch of useful improving moves. It's not hopeless. Maybe you try some knight e8 and knight d4, but usually these things aren't fun for black. I spent too much time playing d takes e5 in the King's Indian. Ding just played rook d1. Takes. Rook takes, and I guess bishop g4 will happen. But still an uphill battle to make something happen with black. How does white play though here? Because now if takes knight d5, there's bishop d8, keeping the pawn. And if knight d5 directly.
Maybe bishop takes actually on d1, because I just want to protect the e-pawn and just play knight d5 without having to give things up. So bishop d1, and, yeah.
Yeah, h6.
Okay.
Wasn't sure, because bishop e3, knight g4, knight d4, at least black gets some activity.
I guess you could play bishop h4 there.
Yeah. Could be. I'm not sure about this, because I don't know. Bishop somewhere, even bishop e6. Once black is ready to do this, then at least he has some potential for the future, usually. Like some knight d4, c6. Not winning either, but some hope maybe. But he does go bishop takes. Interesting. Did not expect that.
See, this is the difference between us. I spend my time playing h3 and g4 and trying to hack the King's Indian. You're taking on e5 and playing some sensible endgame.
h3 I'm on board with, just g4. Yeah, bishop g4 played. No, ding. You let me down, all as d5 fans. Now black is fine, because after knight d5 there's knight e8. That's the one you don't want to allow. So maybe rook a1. He rushed a little, because the rook on d7 is so clumsy. Just h3. h3 is so important because it just stops bishop g4 for good, and after h6, bishop e3, knight g4 is never there. It's not like he's lost now, but it feels like he allowed Pragnanda to get the piece out, and if he played too slowly, black gets to take here, play knight d4 or c6, then some hope is there. Not saying black is better or anything, but this black not having to take makes all the difference. Like knight e8 here. Prague still in it.
Yeah, he is. Okay, so will Ding get creative, and after black exchanges on f3, I wonder if he's going to dabble with gf3 and try to get in f4 or something.
Yeah, depends where things stand, but of course it's also creating more volatility. So
yes.
No, Ding rushed a bit here. Are you dragging or are you rushing? What should White do? Now I get nervous because I no longer see a way to clean it. 95 still looks normal. 98. No tactics. Maybe just a move of some description here. Should be 3. Takes. And GF or bishop takes. Not like White is in trouble, I guess.
Yeah, once the knight blockades, that's quite nice.
A4. He's going after the knight. Guess he calculated bishop F3, bishop C6. Looks a bit all over the place. Ding, that's not how we play in the Chicken Chess Club. You had a nice start, but then you let it get out of hand. Even knight d4 I start worrying about. Probably
95.
Yeah, probably no reason to. Just the pieces start feeling a little clumsy. But yeah, this hard to believe it's serious.
Yeah, doesn't look right, does it?
No. What else is there?
Bishop F3, bishop C6, and okay. Well, let me just recapture with the bishop. Bishop B takes C6 because at least it covers D5, and just wonder whether we can use the B file there. Can we play A5 and rook B8?
Yeah, White is out of trouble. Like any move. Rook D1.
Yeah. Knight A4 is solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't know. 97. Still feels like it's this to me, although I can't quite make it work. But yeah, it's so bad.
Can you play knight D5?
ET.
Yeah, recapture with the E pawn, of course.
Yeah, yeah. We have a move. He's gone 98. Do we like that?
Okay, so he gives himself the option if White exchanges on C6 to actually drop the bishop back to E6, and then that's looking much nicer, much healthier for Black.
Knight D5. Now he wants to take and go knight D4, I'm assuming. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that's something. And C6, yeah. In the game. How's Ding looking?
Tired. Must be tough for Ding to play all these games at night. Because he probably also knows that nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m. And he consistently has to play decisive chess games then.
Is that your motto? Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m.
It's a famous German saying. That's why we're such a party-loving people.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
Bishop E6 played. I guess White is still fairly solid here with the control over the dark squares.
But after, okay, which one do you want to start with? Because
is knight D6 thing?
I think is an issue. Just hitting the pawn straight away.
I think I don't care.
You don't care. He doesn't care.
I worry about nothing. I want to go F3, knight A4, and chill. Ding's my boy. Should be 3 played.
And if the rook comes to d8, no, he went a5.
Yeah, the king will get there. a5. Guess still knight a4.
Yeah, I was actually wondering about rook d8 and stirring with f5.
Yeah. Black is in time. That f4 is unpleasant to meet. Then that's nice. But will he be in time? I guess white is always safe. Like now there's knight c5 whenever needed. Rook d8, knight c5, then f3. The other knight could go here. It's just a safe position. Ding, you can be back. You can be back in the club. Just leave before 2 a.m.
I think he's got to start with rook d8.
What do you want? Knight c5? There are weaknesses.
You want to take my weaknesses just like that? Yeah. It's hard to play against that. True. Okay, forget rook d8.
Let's play gone bishop f8, knight c5. Takes. No, rook d8 or knight d6. Yeah, he starts with knight d6. He's trying to make something happen. b3, a4.
Okay, so you play rook c1?
I don't know. Still tempted to go b3, but can't determine how much of a nuisance this is. It's a bit of a nuisance, yeah. So rook c1 played. Still nothing there, yeah. d8, but white should always be in time to stabilize. d4. f3, bring the king.
Okay, I mean, this really does look very dry now because there's no real breakthrough at all for black. Yeah, looks very safe. Looks like Ding is going to do it. Just need to draw.
Beautiful play by Ding. I don't know what black does. Rook b8, I guess bishop b4, c5, bishop c3, f6 maybe.
Yeah, but after rook b8, I mean,
just rook c2, yeah? No need to.
Exactly, yeah.
Mess around, yeah. No, it's of course very safe.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're just looking to block out, but actually, I mean, if anyone's going to be in trouble here, it's black, of course.
I think black is solid enough with like targeting these pawns as well, but to win it seems rough. Knight b7, I guess bishop e3 looks normal. Maybe he wants to put the knight here. Then go rook d8, or go rook d8 directly, rook d3, but
okay,
it's just so solid.
Yeah, we just trot the king into the middle. I mean, it's nothing to write home about, is it?
I've never written home about anything, so I never found anything to write home about, but I guess that's not the point of that expression.
I used to write home in the early days, if I was very far afield. But this is pre-internet, of course.
Trying to think, but no. I think I've literally never done it. Maybe I sent a postcard from somewhere at some point, but
oh yeah, I mean, postcards, absolutely. I used to do that, but I wrote home properly, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, there we are. That's really old school.
On your bike?
Not on my bike, no. Yeah, I remember writing letters from Hungary, from Australia, and just kind of updating, you know.
That sound like you were a better son than me.
No, not really. Heavily edited, heavily redacted versions of what I was actually doing.
Gotcha. f6, I guess just bring the king. Probably also nothing wrong with c5 and jump around, but why bother? He wants c5 knight d6, so maybe you could make an argument for this. Yeah, c5 plate.
Okay, this is very gummy now, isn't it?
Knight a5. We welcome the knight exchange. So bring the king. Nothing wrong with taking this guy either, but I wouldn't do it. No. King f2.
Why change your strategy?
Never change a drawing team. Knight b3 takes. Now we need a way to challenge the d file. King e3, rook c3, or is rook d8 the border? Nah, go king e3.
So just allowing the rook to come to d1. Who cares?
No. We're more chicken than that.
Oh,
Bishop d2.
yeah. I shouldn't have ever doubted the maestro chicken.
I don't know. I'm pushing it a bit here, but I think it's still fine. f5, bishop c3. We have a target all of a sudden. He's played king f7. Now we go here.
Okay, so Prague will put his king on e6, and then he'll try and break on the king side.
I like that Ding is playing this game in my style. It's much easier to predict his moves. G5. Do we go G3? Nah, you do your thing. Maybe we play G3. What say you, Ding? Thinking about it. Nothing wrong with G4, but I don't like that. Then we have to think about rook H8, H5.
Yeah, I
wouldn't do it.
No point.
Go G3, F4 if needed. Create some targets for this guy. It's also not bad to do nothing, I would guess, but it's psychologically sometimes a bit uncomfortable if they play H5 or G8 and you have to start thinking about potential breaks.
But it's also quite nice to remind Black that actually he could be worse in this position because, you know, there's a pawn on C7 and, all on Black squares. So why not play half sensible moves, you know?
Taking a moment here. Weighing the pros and cons of G3, F4. Cons, weakens E4. Pros, weakens E5. Pragnanda. Still looking somewhat confident, but maybe he's also just happy. The day is coming to an end.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ding is thinking too long here because I don't quite see.
Yeah, he's just wondering how to arrange his pawns.
Hmm.
H5. Yeah. Well, H3 is so chicken. Getting a push notification, but it's just, quote unquote, inside the Chelsea sale. The British government on Wednesday gave its blessing to the purchase of Chelsea FC, one of European soccer's blue ribbon teams, by an American-led investment group. 3.1 billion. Bishop c3 played. I'm assuming you're not a Chelsea fan.
No, they're not the best team in West London, unfortunately, for them.
Gotcha. Ding has played h3, which is very tight. He wants to make sure that his formation cannot get undermined by any means. He's taken a moment making sure this construction cannot be shaken. And I guess he's right. To g4, you just take once and then you play f4, or you don't move. And you go bishop b4, bishop c3 for the rest of the game until black goes for something desperate. That's some solid chickening right there.
Yeah, good stuff. Yes, and if this rook actually moves away, then bishop a5 takes on c7 as well.
Just a little reminder not to go too far. Yeah.
So Ding had a little bit of a scare as he lost the second game. It was a curious game, wasn't it? Because he played sort of very softly. He'd already won the first game beautifully. And you'd expect him to play solid main lines, d4, well, as he's done here, sort of. But just got a slightly worse position after the opening. It was a curious game, actually.
Yeah, it was a bad outing for Ding. Some subtlety must have gone wrong early, like when black played this weird bishop f5 move. Felt like he didn't react in a very challenging fashion, like this whole rook c1 combined with a3 b4 leaves a strange impression, because I think generally when the rook goes here, you don't want to go a3 b4, and clearly you don't want to spend too tempo on getting the pawn there. So no, he found himself into trouble uncharacteristically early there.
Yep.
But he won game 3 in great style again, and now he's well on his way to chickening out and clinching up victory. It's just clinching, right? Clinching victory.
Clinching
day
victory.
1. d2. Prague was hoping he could scare Ding with takes and bishop f1, but the king is there. Rook a8, rook f2, and I guess they've seen enough. Yep.
There we go. So first day, first set is over, and Ding clinches it with this draw. So he wins the set 2.5, 1.5. Had a bit of a scare with that loss in the second game, but actually came through pretty convincingly in those final 2 games. So there we go, Jan. I guess what we'd expect, the favorite came through, and Prague has it all to do on day 2.
Yeah, Prague, as usual, has already exceeded expectations. Had a long day today. Maybe he can get a good night's sleep now for the rest of the night and put up a fight tomorrow. Today, yeah, he had this nice victory, but overall you could see Ding was the more complete player, playing in different styles, understanding the structures there with black, and then, yeah, cynically making a draw when needed with white, which I greatly enjoyed. So good job by Ding. More tomorrow. In the meantime, buy our Chessable courses, chessable.com/Jan. Study some chess. Learn how to be a chicken with black, or slightly less chicken if you want to play the clash.
Learn how to be very, very courageous and play a nice Sicilian as well. And loads of other courses on sale at the moment. And don't forget that the trophy of the tournament, the winner's trophy, there's an NFT which is up for auction. Do check out chesschamps.io for interested in putting in a bid.
But if I buy it, can I claim I won the tournament? Is that how it works?
I think that's absolutely legitimate. Yeah, I think you could. Why not? Stick it in the virtual trophy cabinet.
This is not the trophy.
What is that?
It's a trophy I won recently. It's for a battleship tournament. I crushed the competition.
Nice, very good. Almost look like your Air Things device, actually.
That's here as well. I have all my important belongings here.
And we're grateful.
Coffee, battleship trophy, Air Things device.
And we're grateful to Air Things for monitoring air quality of the players. So I hope everyone will join us for more commentary tomorrow, starting at 1800 hours Central European time. Do join us for set 2 on day 2. See you later.
Hello everyone and welcome to this short introduction to the Roy Lopez. So the Roy Lopez is a chess opening that appears after the move e4, black replies e5, we play knight f3, black replies knight c6, and now bishop to b5. This is the Roy Lopez. We intend to castle next, and we are building some initiative in the center later on by playing the move c3 and hopefully d4. It's a very solid and reliable opening. It has been played by basically all the world champions throughout the history of chess. It has been around for hundreds of years, and it can definitely last you a lifetime once you learn it. So I really recommend you all to try out the Roy Lopez.